It's the Bennington Show, everybody. On a Tuesday, looks like we're going to be doing 2 for Tuesdays.
Nice.
And that's a big setup for our Sticks and Stones weekend. So it's coming up this weekend. You're going to hear a Stick song and then a Stone song, Stick song. And that's going to go on for 48 straight hours.
Seems like we're going to have more Stone songs, though, aren't we?
Well, we're going to replay Sailing quite a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. We plan on playing Sailing 82 times. I'm sailing away. Hey, by the way, I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And here's the good news. I am Ron Bennington. Now,
Yes.
I have got every weather source up right now, and we are going to be following this nor'easter. While that is happening, I am also doing my best to figure out the Mad Bomber of Austin, which gets weirder and weirder and more movie-like.
So this morning there was like another package, but it was
San Antonio with a Austin address.
right.
It's relentless.
But it was on a FedEx truck or something like that on its way to Austin.
I'm
crazy.
going to be totally honest. With all the work I'm doing, I haven't been big on the details. So I just know that it's nuts. And I have already put in a call with the authorities to say, if this bomber asks for money and he says, just drop it in a trash can, please check to see if there's a hole in the bottom of that trash can that he gets and tries to get into a subway. I've seen it happen time and time again. It's, I mean, and there was a school shooting today south of D.C. It's madness. We're living in a fucking time of madness, folks. What I'd like to do is put together Chill Fest fucking 2018. Just a day of chilling.
Whoa, I like this.
Yeah.
Just like no news, no bad news. Just
No bad
chill.
news. I get some chill bands. I have an in with Metallica. And if I could ask them to just, you know what I mean?
Chill.
Just play something a little lighter for some of the older folks can dance.
Here's what I also think about Chill Fest.
Yeah.
You don't want any bad news, but you also don't want any great news. You just want to just be like chill.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to hear anything good that day. Vito, you're not coming to Chill Fest. You know why? Because you look like you were going to beat up the Puerto Rican rattlesnake yesterday.
Yeah, I wanted to fucking choke that rattlesnake out yesterday.
I don't know why. And you know what? It's like, I think our life is very weird here. Like, we just accept it and then we move on.
Yeah.
And last night, I was just like, that was really weird. And we all just like had conversation afterward with Vito and talking about regular stuff. We didn't say, Vito, that was pretty strange.
I'm going to be honest because you were a little weirded out, but I laughed out loud 3 times last night thinking of when he just turned on him and was threatening to beat him up.
The funny part was the initial snap. He said something like, "What's so funny about me punching someone in the face?"
No one believed
that
you.
was like the funny.
You sound like you were a liar.
It was 100% true. And Louis J. Gomez fucking trying to come at me about my story was just infuriating and laughing at me like he's some fucking tough ass. Like,
he's pretty tough.
He's a real ass dude. Yeah, sure. Whatever, dude.
If you want, I'll fucking talk to Jay and we'll put this thing in the squared circle.
I'd love to.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
That was so
You know
quick.
what? Here's the problem. The reason I want to say no to it is because they're both so willing and would be both so excited about it. And that's what makes me not want to do it.
Well, one thing about Lewis that I've noticed over the years is he doesn't mind being choked out or any of that. You know what I mean? He lets people choke him out.
Yeah.
Norton has done that too. And I'm always like, why? Why do you? Oh, could you pull my wrist back to see how bad it hurts? No,
don't do that to me.
No pain. Not during Chill Fest, everybody. My new favorite thing, and I mean, I this is another time that I LOL'd. I almost started to roll on the floor laughing my ass off.
Ruffle?
Is this thing that's going around about Ivanka Trump cosplay, because whenever she goes somewhere, she pretends that that's what she, like she's part of it. And this last one was her as a scientist. She went to some
adorable.
It's really fucking cute. Chris said, remarkably sexy. Look who it is.
He said, "Can I hug?"
Yeah.
The door locked?
Yeah, it's Ian Finance. Ian Finance is
Ian Finance cannot open up a door.
I thought it was a
Hey.
pool. Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, man?
You were doing Nikki's program?
Yeah, I just did Nikki's.
How great is she, man?
Yeah, she's the best.
I was watching her the other night. I don't want to give away any of her stuff, but she did a thing on gangbangs that I thought was as good from like a gal's perspective of what would make it go a little easier.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Good to see you, Ian.
You too.
We were just talking. Vito seriously wants to fight Luis J. Gomez.
What?
Yeah, he wants to do it. What rules would you go? Because this is one of those things. Boxer meets, MMA, yeah,
UFC fighter.
So what rules would you want?
I'll let him go full MMA. I'll let him try to take me down. I'll let him go for the legs. I don't give a shit. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not done at all.
And what would you do?
MMA.
Huh? I just beat him down. I just fucking punch him in the face.
Yeah, but there has to be
Have you
some
ever
kind
been
of
in a
rules
fight
to-
before?
Yes, I have.
How many?
There's the problem.
Yeah, okay, do you know where the clitoris is?
All right, no, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
Here's what happened to him, Ian. He was telling us a story about how he beat up a bully, and Lewis was calling, bullshit on him. And then he flipped out yesterday and went in the fight. Lewis, and you haven't dropped it yet, have you?
I've been fucking thinking about it since 3:00 yesterday when the show ended.
Jesus, Vito.
I wouldn't mind putting this into a Thanksgiving fight. I don't know if it's too far away. Yeah.
That it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what'd you talk about on Nikki's show?
I've been sex free since November. And no prostitutes or anything. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Andrew Collin was on. He's very funny. And he was talking about how when he was in college, he's such a hypochondriac. He fingered a girl and bit his nails and thought that he had AIDS. But he was also a virgin. So,
I remember when people were thinking that they could get AIDS from a restroom.
Oh, yeah. They thought the
my mom
toilet
told me
seat.
I could get it from a handshake because she didn't want me touching strangers. You know the lies your parents tell you.
Your parents will do anything to box in the gays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it was literally a walling off of the gays back then.
What was the bathroom thing? It was like pee, or was it just like
Toilet
if you have a
seat.
cut on your butt and then that person?
That's a really good one.
Like,
People
what
are
would
worried
be
about
like-
cuts all
Toilet
the
seat,
time.
Yeah, cuts.
Yeah.
Cuts on the butt, people shaving and
Butt
cutting.
cuts.
They were even saying
That's my barbershop.
they were even saying that Magic wasn't safe to play basketball with other people
That's
because
right.
he could bleed on them. And
Yeah,
they
who
would
was
get
the
AIDS.
That's how I
Olympian
got
who they
the
drained the
sex
pool or something? Remember
I
that?
don't remember that one at all.
There was something where like I feel like they were overly cautious because he had AIDS and they had like drained the pool or something.
If I open
crazy.
up a hotel, I would promise people we drain the hotel pool every day. So it's going to start late. I mean, it's really, you're not going to be able to get in there until about 5, 6 o'clock at night.
Cleanest pool in town.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you, I went home to see my mom in Delaware, and man, we're sitting at this restaurant, and a guy comes up and he goes, "Hey man, are you in finance?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "I listen to you on Bennington all the time. I love that show.
That's so
I'm such a
sweet.
fan," and it was just so cool for that to happen in front of my mom.
Right.
I'm just so grateful to you guys. So I wanted to come in and tell you.
What
that.
restaurant were you at?
Harry's Savoy Grill. His name's Dave. His wife runs a restaurant. Could have gotten a discount, Dave,
Yeah.
but appreciate you saying hi.
So you're sitting there with your mom, and you're like, "Mom, I'm sorry about this. This shit happens all the time."
Yeah. I introduced my mom, and then I swear to God, in her head, she was like, "Ian, they're just being so nice to us now." Because other waiters are coming by, and she's like, "Look at that. Real star treatment." Like, all right, good.
That's good. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get that shit off of Nikki's show.
That's great. Yeah, so I just want to come in and tell you guys
Well,
that. I
great
really
to
appreciate
see you,
it.
buddy. Let's, book you back again.
Yeah,
And by
love
the
it.
way, he's blowing up everywhere. And let me say one more thing about every funny person I know loves Ian.
How
Oh
could
my
you
God.
not?
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I mean, the strongest people in comedy are like, that kid's hilarious. That's where you want to be, dude. That's the pocket.
Hell yeah, man.
You know that, and waiters and shit like that. I mean, you gotta make that happen. Any
Yeah.
service.
Hey, thank you so much, guys, for listening and following me. And just if you see me out, give me a fucking discount. Okay.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
Yeah.
You know?
Could I get a steak, Dave?
I can get you one at Toys R Us, but you got to stand online with everybody else. I mean, it's It's a rush right now, Toys R Us.
I know, it's a mad dash. And I didn't even think of this, but I guess there's like a big thing because there's a big crisis because people register with like Babies R Us for their baby register. So all these people who had set up things are like in full
I
panic.
didn't even know that. So Babies R Us is out too?
I believe so.
There's
because that's
giant
under the same
stores.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the suburbs, there's a fucking like a Babies R Us that's the size of a Kmart. And I said years ago, I go, this can't last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
They're
not
huge.
Not enough. You've made this shit too big with your big box stores.
Like Toys R Us was kind of the millennial toy store. It was like, that was like the big thing.
I remember
But
going there in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was
Early 90s.
definitely
KB Toys, you remember
KB.
that?
That's what I was
They're
just going to
doing
say.
pop-ups. They
KB
just, because they've been out of business, and they said that might do some pop-ups.
I hope they do.
But here's the thing to remember. A child doesn't want a toy anymore.
Yeah, that could be a big problem. They want an app.
Apps.
Apps for the iPad.
They're slapping on these iPads like a chimpanzee. That ain't working. That's the way we do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're out of their fucking mind right now, these kids.
They're crazy.
Well, it's so stupid. You have a kid, and then you're like, you know what? I'm not going to raise him. I'm just going to shove a screen in its face.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant. I used to work in restaurants. That's all they do.
They just give them a screen.
Yeah, and they're like, look how well behaved the kid is. Well, they're going to be a narcissistic nightmare when they're older.
What happened?
They're in a trance.
What happened to just hitting them to get them to shut up?
Or having some crayons and letting them write on the
I
paper.
know.
Yeah.
I had bought some coloring books and some like little dollar store toys and stuff for my cousin's kids. And I showed up and I was like, hey, I got all this stuff. And they were on iPads. And I was like, okay, you don't want to color.
Yeah, they don't want anything
I
to
got
do with that.
my like nieces a puzzle, and they were like, "Are you fucking dumb?"
Yeah, they don't want a puzzle.
Yeah. I'm
They don't want
puzzled
a board.
as to why you would get.
They don't want a board game. They don't want a
Uh-uh.
puzzle. They don't want to fucking push a little truck around. They don't want a dolly baby. They want fucking Steve Jobs. Oh,
get rid of them. I say.
yeah, they're not even human anymore.
No.
These babies. Do you ever see that thing where the baby had a magazine and was so mad because she was trying to swipe it?
Yeah.
She's like
No.
trying to
They put
swipe along.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
And this is like an infant.
No.
And she was going like this to try to turn the page
Are
of
you
the
serious?
magazine. And going like this to zoom, trying to zoom. And she was just like, what the hell is wrong with this thing?
And she's
And I
right.
love how
I mean, it
parents
stinks.
film this and they're like, "Look how cute it is."
Yeah.
Instead of it just
What
being
are you
like the
doing?
world's weirdest thing.
What is the stuff you're doing? Just show babies slapping on?
These are children trying to swipe.
Look at, see that baby just tried to zoom in on the text?
Or are they
That's so
trying to
weird.
just grab it?
A
Look at the swipe.
Oh my god.
She's trying to swipe.
Oh. They don't know what a fucking magazine is.
That's
That's
freakish.
so disgusting.
They're horrifying. They're like little cyborgs.
Oh my god. I don't
Like the
trust anyone
motion
born
of
after 9/11.
No, I feel the
No,
same way.
That makes sense.
No. How can you never forget
can't
if you
relate.
never knew? You know what I mean?
They
I mean,
forget.
even
By the
if
way,
they were
people
too
forgot.
little.
Oh,
Even
no.
if they were too little. Like someone's
Like
like, I was
Vito.
an infant
Yeah.
baby on
Yeah,
9/11.
yeah.
You're like, you don't
Vito,
get it.
you were even confused about 9/11, right?
Yeah, I didn't get what the big fuss was all about at the time.
God damn it, that's rude.
Nuh-uh.
Imagine if an adult said that.
I was just a baby, just fucking.
How old were you?
I was like 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
watching on TV, like, what's going on here?
I'll say
You were
this.
too busy fighting bullies.
Yeah.
Here's the only people that I will trust. If you were 11 on 9/11, then I feel
Right.
like it's okay.
Or 9.
Yeah, oh yeah, you could be 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Numerically,
Not
you have to be related, or else I don't trust you.
Jen, you didn't know anything about 9/11, did you?
She must have been pretty young.
I did. I mean, I saw it when it happened after.
Building
a
boom. Oh shit! All right, I gotta run.
See you, my man. Peace
Thank you
out.
guys so
Always great
much.
to
Thanks
see
for having
you.
me in. Yeah. I'll be back soon.
All right, my brother.
See you around, man.
All right.
Hey, thank you guys.
That's very, very funny, man.
Love him. Love Ian.
He's off the hooers.
Mm-hmm.
He's off the hooers. I put a thing out. I sent this to President Trump that all pimps should be put to death. You know what I mean?
Pimps.
Yeah. Because when he said drug dealers should be put to death.
Right.
Which I don't know. I had it in my mind that we were so far past this war on drugs that we would try to understand it rather than battle it, because it has literally been around my entire life.
Yes, and I don't know if what he's confused about is the opiate crisis. So much of that is medication. This is people who are being medicated. And then using their medications.
Nobody is running a fucking bootleg lab where they're just making these pills and putting them. Yeah.
If he killed every drug dealer in the United States, everyone would still get just as high.
How do you figure?
Because everyone would still get their pills from their doctors.
But what does he consider a drug dealer? Somebody who takes their pills from their doctors and then sells it to people? Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people be like, I have this thing for my back, but I can get $10 a pill for it, and then I could use that money to buy goods and services. Probably more goods than services.
I think I think what Trump considers a drug dealer is like a guy buying heroin or coke or I guess weed too.
But wait, before you kill them. Is it a guy selling a fucking 8-ball? Or do you have to sell, since he's never partied before in his life, he has no idea what everybody's talking about.
No.
He thinks a drug dealer is something he saw in Miami Vice. Yeah. Your chances of bumping into those guys is pretty rare. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I also think that if we don't see a red flag as a leader who has a suggestion where a punishment does not fit the crime whatsoever, like the idea of like death for selling drugs, that sounds like, we
got it from the Philippines.
Yeah, I was saying we used to say, oh, don't travel there. You can't even have weed because they'll put you in a camp. And now he's just like, I don't know, we're deaf. That sounds pretty good.
Maybe we can shoot him on TV.
So weird. I think it's a red flag when you have a leader just being like, crazy punishment for mild crime.
The red flag should be the flag of the United States right now. That I would appreciate. I just feel like I want to plant some drugs on Vito and get him taken off the street before this Luis J. Gomez thing goes down.
Why would you want to take me out before the fight?
You really want to fight?
I mean, I'm ready to fight him.
I don't think you're ready.
All because he laughed.
Ready to fight him.
Look, I want you to take it this way. All he did was laugh in your fat face and embarrass you in front of your friends.
Is that so bad?
Not cool. That's a fucking dick move. I'm sitting here with you guys, and he's trying to fucking make me seem like some little punk ass bitch. Like, I gotta calm down. I'm sorry.
He exposed you as a liar. That's all.
That's hilarious.
I think he came off as a PAB.
Do you think he's a PAB, Chris?
He is a 100% PAB punk ass bitch.
And I used to think you were cool until Luis J. Gomez came in.
No, Rattlesnake exposed.
By the way, Dave Smith didn't bother you at all. Just Lewis.
Just Lewis. Dave
sounds
Smith
like racism.
No, it's not racism at all. I love the Puerto Rican people.
Punk ass bitch.
I like that song. He's a punk ass bitch. Bitch claims he beats up dudes everywhere.
One fight.
Why do you like lying about fighting so much, Vito?
All right.
Why don't you let me warm up against you?
You've already
that sounds really like that sounded very not only sexual but romantic. Let me warm up against you.
Hey, Eric in West Virginia.
Yeah, I don't think he hasn't thought out, and the Justice Department will determine, what level. But there was an opiate dealer in West Virginia that accounted for something like 82 ODs. How do you not see that as a potential of putting them to death, like a life sentence?
Well, because are you pro or anti guns?
Pro gun.
Okay, so you're saying that thing is a tool and should be used responsibly, blah, blah, blah. It seems to me to be the same exact thing with this These are manufactured by American pharmaceutical companies, right? If you don't see that as the initial danger thing that between the pharmaceutical companies pushing it and the doctors putting it out there, is if that isn't where the fucking responsibility would be, it doesn't seem to me to be some weird fucking Chinese guy who is flying shit into the country in surfboards, Just doesn't exist that anyway. But no one ever stands up to these pharmaceutical companies.
No, there's just too much money behind it. There's just too much money. And we could say, I wish that doctors would not prescribe things like this to people, but it works for everyone's benefit.
Yeah.
All of this works for their benefit. People are getting rich off of the opiate crisis.
Yes, absolutely. And then they're getting even more rich selling that. What is it?
Narcan. Which is now ads for it are all over the New York City
all
subways.
over the subway.
Almost every other thing says
I saved my neighbor because I had Narcan. I saved my best friend because I had Narcan.
Anybody who has Narcan, I think, should be put to death because they're stopping the opiate crisis. They're stopping the opiate crisis from bottoming out. I don't know. We have a terrible opiate crisis in this country, but it is mainly legal drugs. Drugs. And then if they'll show those things that say like any kind of painkiller is no kind of long-term solution to anything anyway, that you will feel the same amount of pain, but you'll just be high when you feel it.
Right. That it is numbing a part of your brain that's receiving that.
Yeah.
But your body is experiencing.
Well, not even just your body, but your pain is eventually getting the same things.
Right.
That's why you up your drug intake all the time. And Chris, thank God you've never gotten into this opiate thing. Out of all the problems you've had,
I had dabbled in like Oxycontins, but I never went on full on into it.
I feel like that was a thing for a while. Like a lot of youngsters were doing that.
Well, it still are.
Yeah.
You're just not youngsters anymore.
Yeah, no, but it was difference. It felt like it was out of nowhere that nobody was doing that, and all of a sudden, I knew people who were doing it, and then I knew two people who it immediately ruined their life.
Yeah, well, in high school, like in New York, everyone was eating Xanax. And then people were like, the Xanax isn't doing it for me anymore. Then Oxycontin came on and everyone started doing Oxycontin. And now everyone's doing, fentanyl patches.
That's the big thing, the fentanyl, right?
The fence, yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Fence. Excuse me, Chris.
You're sounding like a real square these days.
Fucking Tom Sawyer wants me to fucking paint the fence. Hey, Jason, what's up?
Not a whole lot. What's going on, Bennington?
What can we do for you, bro?
No, I'm just calling to say, painkillers, they definitely have been an issue for some years. But if you look in the last 3 years, ODs have went up like 90%, and it's because of the fentanyl.
Yeah.
We got cops who are overdosing just from getting this shit on their skin, and I think that's the issue right there.
All right. So again, this is a manufactured product by our pharmaceutical companies, correct?
No, the fentanyl is coming from China.
All right, so the fentanyl is different from the other kind of, because I'm out of the game. You know what I mean? So I have no idea.
But isn't fentanyl something that doctors can prescribe here in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's prescribed as like a patch.
Well,
yeah, they got the patches, but what's killing everybody is they're mixing this fentanyl with the heroin. And, the shit's just so strong. Like I said, cops get the stuff on their skin and they're ODing from it. It's
what
not.
is it about a cop that they can't
stop touching it?
Yeah, you can't handle a little bit of fentanyl.
Take a little bit.
Work your tolerance up before you hit the beat.
That was always the funny thing in any cop TV show, is like they find some powder and then they rub it on their gums, and I'm like, what if that's fucking matchstick? You know what I mean? What if that's enough to get everybody in your neighborhood high?
I saw someone do that once, and it was so weird because someone had told me that this person had quite a past, but she was a coworker, and she was like hey, happy Monday, like that kind of coworker. And there was like a rehab center like right next door to where we worked, and we were outside. There's a little baggie on the ground.
No.
And she goes, oh my God, what is this? And then she sticks her finger in it and rubs it, and she's like, is that and I was like, oh my God. I mean, like, these are homeless people coming in and out of this place. We don't know what this thing is on the ground. And I was like, okay, it's true. I mean, I did not think she was like the most Susie Homemaker kind of chick. And I could not believe it was 0.3 seconds. She had no hesitation to just stick her finger in a bag. Be like, oh yeah, weird. I'm like, oh, that's nuts. That's
I mean,
crazy.
you would do a bump with a stranger. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I know, but it just seems weird. There's also just like, it was just on the ground. It was like just picking up a bag of empty Doritos and just rubbing the dust on your teeth. That would weird me out too.
All right, here's some breaking news. Trump just said he's going to meet with Vladimir Putin soon, as he's
That's not
sitting
so
next
weird.
to the Saudi prince.
To talk about the arms race.
I think they'll get along. I have a feeling they'll like each
I'm
other.
going to meet him for the 53rd time. Hey, Jason, what's up, buddy?
Buddies,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, as far as I know, the only thing that you can be put to death for is premeditated murder. And the thing about that is you have to prove somebody intended to kill somebody. Nobody intended to kill somebody when they dealt drugs. They intended to get a quick 10 spot. And further, most convictions for drug-related offenses are all plea bargains. Most of these people are innocent, but they're just like, hey, I don't want to fuck with this. I'm just going to fucking plea it down. So we're going to put those people to death? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It really does seem to get in the way. Everybody loves the Saudi prince for some reason. I saw him on 60 Minutes the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's the one, like, everyone's, like, loving him because he's like, we are going to give women the opportunity to drive automobiles. And everyone's like, this dude is so young and cool.
Progressive.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I could do that. You know what I mean? That's a fucking thing I could come up with.
His buddy Saudi. Yeah, then he also like arrested a bunch of other rich Saudis.
Yeah, he said that this has been a whole shitty fucking thing that they've been ripping off the Saudi government, but it reminds you of dudes that are just making sure, you know, it's like when the young lion comes in and he takes over and then he kills the old lion and all the baby lions. You know what I mean?
It's just
like,
a coup.
There's no one's going to be moving up against him. But they're loving him. They're crazy about him.
And they asked him, so you're so rich, like, what do you do with your money? He's like, he basically said, don't worry about that. I have money for myself. I'm just worried about the people of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because they're going, well, you just bought this giant yacht the other day and you bought a place in France. He goes, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
He goes, that's my personal money. And he does come from like one of those crazy rich families. I mean, the fact, what are we right now, 2018?
Yeah.
And we still use words like princess and princess and king. I mean, it's
Duchesses.
fucking embarrassing. That's embarrassing that somebody could be a prince. But they say people are comfortable. They're like, well, I'd rather have a prince than a president. I don't want to go in and vote for people all the time.
Yeah. We know he's good because he's a prince.
Give me, right now, you see Vito's trying to become, you know, trying to knock out some people and find out his place in the world.
Yeah.
Concerns me, Vito. This violent streak of yours concerns me.
It all ends with one place, and that's Louis J. Gomez.
But you were always such a sweet guy.
Here's what I've
Sweet-talking guy.
told him before. You're too big to be violent and you're too big to be angry. And that's a bad card to be dealt. You don't get to vent your anger in the same way. It's a bad look on a big dude.
Do you remember what I said to you? You're too big to be forgotten. It's cute, right? I'm going to put that on your yearbook.
I just don't like bullies, and he came off like a bully yesterday.
Wait, you were talking about beating someone up.
Another bully.
Another bully.
Let me ask you
You're
this.
a hero, I guess.
You
Yeah.
consider Batman a bully? Huh?
He's a vigilante. He's
Green Lantern? Is that a bully? Green Arrow? Adam? Tiny little Adam? Is that a bully?
No, because he's small enough to be angry and violent.
Snake Boy? I'm trying to think of, like, because Black Panther was so big, I'm trying to fucking write a script with a gay
Okay.
South Asian dude, okay, who is trans.
So born female, transition to male?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what you want to do? Yeah, sure. Because I don't know how it all works.
Are they also... Oh, wait, no, you said gay, because I was trying to figure out if it's pan.
But also where, okay, Pan, but also wears glasses and has a hearing aid to kind of get those people in. Yeah. Let's finally have something for those people. And the worst of all the afflictions, colorblindness. He's a sweet talking guy. Is our guest in the buildings?
They are in the building.
This, they're they now.
She is in the building.
She's leaving home after living alone with so many beers. Nothing but papers, huh?
A lot of papers.
I just wanted mine. You didn't have to give him papers.
Well, this is Zoey Deutch. Zoey is in. This is the shared thing for me and Vito. I think Zoey Deutch was the young girlfriend in the my favorite baseball movie of all time. What's the name of that movie? Everybody Wants Some. Right?
Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah, when I say it's my favorite baseball movie, I'm looking right at fucking Kevin Costner when I say that.
Wow.
But she was in Why Him, Before I Fall. This one I missed, Vampire Academy. Seems like a fun one.
Seems like something I'd like. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, she was in Ed Sheeran video. Perfect. Put that up, Chris, so we can take a look for it. Oh. She likes pet adoption instead of dog breeder. She's like you.
Mm-hmm.
You should bring up Birdie. You just had a big bird day, right?
She did. Her adoptiversary.
I don't need the sound.
It's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I get it. Ed Sheeran.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
She's such a pretty.
Yeah, she is pretty. She's the new It Girl, I believe.
I think so. Do you think she's like Girl Next Door, It Girl, or Manic Pixie Dream Girl, It Girl?
Right now, Girl Next Door, this movie Flower, she's like a Manic Pixie Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold Killer. Flower is the name of it. Did you see it, Vito?
Yeah, I loved it.
You remind me of that guy, her stepbrother that she fell in love with. Had the same build as you and the same problems where people bullied him.
And like stress and anxiety. And
Swapping something over.
What, putting Bennington back up?
swashing. He's just swashing it over.
You know what? Just because he's a thick tongue-tied bitch, let me tell you about something about Chris, right? I come walking up today, and it's fucking cold as shit this morning. I see Chris, and he's waiting down in the smoking area. And he's walking like this, in a circle, and so fast. And it looked like, was it Buffalo Girls? You know what I mean? Remember that thing?
Was he trying to create heat?
I think he's fucking crazy. He looked like a polar bear that's stuck in a zoo jail.
Oh, no. Chris, is this world not big enough for you?
It's plenty big, all right?
But why were you walking like that?
I don't know. I was walking, smoking, and like moving, like bent forward, and then just walking around in circles around a bunch of objects down the smoking.
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo.
Like, aren't you afraid people are going to see you?
I see him from down the block, and when he sees me, I just start walking in the circle just to show him. Don't you feel like you're looking at a nut?
I did think at one point, what if someone in one of these high rises is just looking down on the park and just looking at someone just walking around in a circle, chain smoking? Then stop.
What about the guy sitting next to you?
That guy's always there every morning. He's a weirdo.
But you're nuts now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna break out of the craziness.
How do you think so?
Not sure. Through hard work and dedication.
Can I tell you what to do?
What's that?
Break up with that Costa Rican because you were fucking totally normal.
You were
before
so
she brought
normal.
her fucking mad ass shit. Where can you see this movie Flower? This is a true indie.
I think it's going to be released this Friday.
Select theaters.
Yeah.
Select theaters, and then nationally in select theaters March 30th.
So that's next. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, so it's out in New York first.
Yes, but in next week nationally.
Yeah. The production company released it in 3 theaters, and then it's rolling out.
Okay. You took the math skills and really got into it.
Thanks. So great to to be in a select theater city, though.
I love living in a select theater city. Hey, Brian, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to call about the Saudi Crown Prince. He's not as great as 60 Minutes will have you, think he is.
Beautiful office.
He's a real piece of garbage, He's conducting a war in Yemen right now.
Yeah, I know that he's striking out against his neighbors, and he's talking about he wants nukes against Iran.
He's ethnically cleansing the Shiite population in the north of Yemen right now.
That doesn't sound so friendly.
No, the United States is helping. And there's actually a vote today on the Senate floor, Senate Joint Resolution 54. Mm-hmm. So now would be a good time to call your senators if you want to stop slaughtering innocent Yemeni people.
I had a buddy that went to Yemen, and he was sending me, this was like 15 years ago. And he was like, oh, man, you should come over here. The dollar goes so far. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be fucking hanging around crazy Yemen.
No, thank you.
And, he's like, it's very peaceful. I'm like, not long after that, every fucking bad thing in the world was coming out of Yemen.
I don't even like people that go to Dubai, and I would never go to Dubai. That seems fucking weird.
No part of Dubai. Fucking slave labor, giant buildings with no one in it.
Yeah, because I'll forget and I'll wear like a tank top or something, and I'll be arrested.
Or you kiss your boyfriend.
Yeah,
and everybody fucking throws a goddamn chain link fence over you. I don't know if that's true, but seems pretty
they all
scary.
do it.
The chain link fence on top of me. Chris, I'm going up to, and I've been begging you to talk about this. I'm going up to Connecticut in a couple of Fridays from now to do a little stand up.
That's Fairfield Comedy Club in Connecticut, Saturday, March 31st. 2 shows, one at 7 p.m., one at 9 p.m. FairfieldComedyClub.com for tickets.
7 p.m. That's a little early for me, Still light out.
That's Saturday, March 31st.
What are you doing now?
I asked for something. Stop giving him things I'm asking for.
Well, I have it for both.
Well, look, this is all who's in this flower thing with Zoey. Catherine Hahn, who I've always loved.
Yes.
Always loved. Adam Scott is a kind of a kid toucher. And then Tim Heidecker is the dad. Now, here's the thing about Tim Heidecker. If you go back and watch this movie, he's like hilarious, but there's no funny lines written for him. He just says it odd.
No, he knows how to take something and be really funny and annoying at the same time. Like, he steals every scene he's in. But if you look at it, you're right. On the paper, there's no jokes written for him. He just is.
It's a regular thing. And like he'll be like, here are some hamburgers, and you can eat these hamburgers. And you're just fucking cracking up, but there's no reason for it. Now, did you notice this? I guess Joey Morgan plays his son, right? Is that Big Luke? Is that the son?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
He was talking like Heidecker to me.
Yeah, it seemed like it made sense.
It was weird. Weird movie.
They came in here and trashed the kitchen. Full disclosure, that was actually me who did this to
there
the
was
kitchen.
No reason.
There was no reason to make that moment funny.
To say that. Good. The police are here and we're ready to support them in any way we can.
This is serious, guys.
Yeah.
Like, literally the way he delivers everything is just so hilarious.
All right. What was his name? Sherm? Yeah. And he'd be like, all right, DJ Sherm is ready to put on some music. We got country music. We've got classic rock. I know you like that. Here's some like soft rock.
Ooh, okay.
And everything he was doing was making me laugh. And who's Zoe's mom?
Catherine Hahn.
By the way, do you know whose son directed this film?
No, I did not know.
Henry Winkler's son.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. You got to look at the stuff a little bit.
I know.
So it's like a little film festival. Hey, is it tonight we're going out to see Ready Player Go?
Yes.
Are you going, Chris?
I am not going.
So we'll say it before everyone else in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. How cute.
Oh, the doll.
What are we doing? All right, Zoey Deutch is here. Flower is playing now in select theaters in New York, and then nationally Friday, March 30th. Let's bring in Zoey Deutch.
Zoey Deutch is in studio, and Flower is playing now in select theaters and is released nationally this Friday, March 23rd.
Go see it.
Congratulations for this funny, strange, somewhat frightening, cool movie.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure if it's a dark comedy, a thriller, or a horror movie, or a straight up drama.
Now, did you guys know that before you made it? Did you realize that you were going to be crossing all these genres, or?
I always knew it was a tonally unique film, and for anybody who doesn't know, the movie's about a teen vigilante who tries to take down a predator in her town, and Adam Scott, Catherine Hahn, Tim Heidecker, who I love.
Yes, of course.
And it's the characters a little bit polarizing and bold, and can one person curse on this?
Yes.
Okay, and no fucks given. She's just no fucks given, and I think through her that like put on male bravado is a real fragility, of course, as there always is. So she's a little different.
Well, it's always like a crazy age because you're old enough to do stuff, and also old enough not to completely think it out.
Yes.
And that can be very positive, and it can be. Some things can happen at that age that affect you for the rest of your life.
Because your character seems so in control, but there's points of real vulnerability for her where she's like really not in control anymore and really out of her element.
Yeah, I think, and she is totally operating out of wanting to be in control, and she's so afraid of not being in control. And I think a lot of the sort of shock value stuff of her character is not to be shocking, it's just to be in control.
Right. So now you're a few years older than her, so you can kind of look back at this a little bit that time.
I was 20 when I shot it, and she's 17.
Oh, she's 17.
Mm-hmm.
But I even think there's a major difference between 17 and 20.
I do too. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I definitely felt like that. I felt like I was like an entirely different human being by the time I was 20 then.
But we are. Our hormones are we're like crazy, insane creatures at 17. Like there's insane chemicals. And I remember being that's what I found really relatable about this character, and what I've found from speaking to people is that she's so frustrating.
Yeah.
She's very frustrating to her mother and sometimes to the audience. And she is so frustrated. And I remember feeling so frustrated and being so frustrating at 17.
Yeah.
And being able to look at that at 20 and be like, wow, I don't know if I'm as frustrating. We're going to need my mother here to confirm or deny.
Now, how does your folks, when they see a role like this, does it weird them out, or are they like, you're making the artistic choices?
They were on board, including my grandmother. That was the real shock. And the beginning scene is the most shocking. My grandmother was like, I loved the beginning to women. The opening scene was fantastic. And I was like, what? Are you sure you watched the same movie?
Did your grandmother have an arts background, or was this stuff that she had to adjust to as the years went on?
My grandmother doesn't know. Yeah, no. So that's why it was all so confusing when she was very on board.
Yeah. I remember being 17 and just having to be outside all the time. I could not be anywhere. And that actually probably lasted from like 14 on, where I'm just like, I can't be here right now. I got to keep moving.
Yeah, I remember that. Just kind of like you're so restless and you want to feel like that feeling that you want to be the right place at the right time all the time, like missing something out, or you just wanted to be connected. It's a very it's a really desperate time.
Yeah, it is.
17.
I know.
Yeah,
it's true. It's really true. And I think, at least for myself, and I guess this character too. Well, this movie to me, it's not about where a lot of coming of age films are about the loss of innocence.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like this movie is about the regaining of innocence.
Right.
And I remember when I was 17, realizing that I had spent so much time, and obviously this is a huge theme in so many coming of age films, but I had spent so much time wanting to grow up and kind of like what you're talking about, just like going around, trying to be everywhere at the same time and trying to, what's that new thing, or who's that cool person or whatever. And I was like, I sort of didn't get to live my life or stay present.
And also I think for women or for girls, the world is ready for you to be a woman, and you are like adjusting to the idea of being a woman.
Right.
And then you go, oh, I do want to be a woman. And like, there's all this weird catch up that's happening because there's certainly conversations between you and an older man. And you have this thing where like, I'm an adult. Take me seriously. I'm an adult. But then when you are a little bit older, you go, no, you weren't. You were not an adult, but I remember feeling that way.
You wanted to be treated like an adult, but sometimes you didn't act like one.
Exactly.
Not you. I don't know. I mean, me.
No, that's still the problem.
Same about that.
Chris, let's do the plug every once in a while so we get people to see this.
Zoey Deutch is in studio, and Flower is playing now in select theaters and is released nationally this Friday, March 23rd.
So who brought this project to you?
I was shooting a film called Before I Fall, and I read this script and I was like, I gotta just that noise came out of my mouth. I was so blown away by the character and how I had never read anybody like her. I think where she's a real through and through anti-hero. Yeah. And when men play anti-heroes, they are morally ambiguous. And when women play anti-heroes, they are oftentimes looked at as unlikable or lacking redeeming qualities. And I was ready to put 2 middle fingers up to that double standard. And, and I fought to get the part, and I have a lot of gratitude to the process. And we shot the movie in 15 and a half days for like less than $500,000. So I'm sure you guys are so used to people coming in and talking about their little movies and going, this was the smallest movie that was ever made. And it was so hard. Like, I'm right here to tell you the exact same stuff you've heard. This movie was so small. It was so hard to shoot. Very rewarding. And Max Winkler directed it. And I think he is a tremendous talent and a really good dude. We had almost all female department heads, which was really exciting for me. A female DP, female production designer, female costume designer. And I really appreciated and loved doing that.
Did you know Max before this film? Did you know him for a while? Or?
No,
not at all.
No, but just put 2 neurotic Winkler Deutsches together, and for some reason it doesn't explode.
Well, we were talking about towards the end of the movie, there's some shots that are just so beautiful that you don't expect in a small film. What film were you comparing it to?
It's like Badlands.
The Terrence Malick.
It's similar
Badlands
to
thing.
And it's interesting because it takes, and I don't want to give anything away, but it takes that role late in the film. Like it kind of moves into a different type of movie, and you get to kind of experience visually things that you weren't experiencing in the beginning.
Yeah,
so it's just very cool.
I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But I wonder even if he did that on purpose, or did it just work out that way?
Yeah.
Let's put Max on the line. No.
So he had to battle his way to this whole process of when you have a small film, getting it made is tough, getting it released is tough, making sure, you know what I mean? Because it's not set, the whole system isn't set up for these kind of films.
No, it's like as grassroots and personal as that you could possibly imagine. We had, it was all of us. What was good, what's really nice about making a movie like this is that everybody has to be making the same movie and everybody has to be all on the same page in order to achieve it. And everybody was, and you have to just, it's real passion and real, it's a real artistic endeavor. So.
And but your career is happening so fast right now. Does it feel that way from your point of view, or does it feel like you're slugging it out?
You know what? I like to work. I should be so lucky to be on the rise, and then nobody, and then nobody, and then nobody, and then, oh my God, oh, that girl, I saw her on somebody, nobody, somebody. I just really like to work, and I hope I can continue to confuse people by doing dramas and comedies and period pieces, and then, oh, why is she doing a Western? I thought she was in dramas. Nope, she's now in comedies.
Well, Vito and I were talking earlier, you're in our favorite baseball movie of all time, and that was another fairly small movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of stuff that seems to be pretty surprising about you, that these things pop up, and when you think of most people, it's tough to be in one memorable movie.
I should be so lucky to be in one memorable movie. Really, honestly. Yeah. Linklater's a G.
Yeah.
You're talking about Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah.
He's like the coolest dude ever. And that was very cool. I guess it doesn't feel like it's fast because, again, it should just always be about like process, not outcome. And I think that's the big lesson I've learned through the years. I'm talking like I'm 90, like as if I'm like this illustrious actor. I'm not, I'm just starting and I have a lot to learn. And I do have a lot of gratitude for the process and trying to not care about the outcome.
Was this a goal since you were a kid, though? Was this something you always wanted to do?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Gail, you grew up watching constant movies.
I did, yeah.
You did?
I was, yeah. Well, I had a good teacher.
Yeah.
We would just watch film all the time.
Yeah. So that was kind of like always our bonding thing. And then, I think I probably just took interest in film in different aspects. Like when you're a kid and you're watching actors, and then as you get a little older, you start to pay attention to writing or directing. So the whole process just became really fascinating to me as a youngster.
Can I be annoying and ask the question that you're probably so sick of being asked? What's it like to work with family?
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I think that we have a pretty unique relationship. Like I feel like our friendship is very different than a normal parent-daughter.
That means the dad's immature when you say stuff like that.
I'm asking about this because so my mom is an actor and a director. My dad's a director. My sister's a writer and an actor. And we made a movie together and I produced it. My sister wrote it, starred in it, and scored it. And my dad and I produced it. Did I say that? My mom directed it. I'm now repeating myself on a scary level. But it's so interesting how people are so baffled and can't understand how we all we haven't killed each other. And I was such a good experience for me. And I'm just, it's nice to see family.
I always think that if like people are always saying about not working together, I think it makes people closer if they do work together. I think the craziness in family was when you're just sitting around and going, remember
right, when you're not talking about anything, you're just talking about the past.
Right.
Yeah, and that's when you're
struggling to relate to whatever they do now as an adult. Like now, as adults, we have more in common than we did. You know, it's crazy. So, and also, I think that, when I say our relationship is unique, is that I think that we have an ability to look at each other sometimes as coworkers in a way that we think.
But that means looking at each other like adults
and human beings. And I think children. And I'm sorry to tie it back into my movie. I promise I'm not usually this annoying, but I do have a point to it. In this film, my character, she and her mother, played by Catherine Hahn, she has a really hard time. It's like that Freudian childlike psychology. She has a very hard time looking at her mother like a human being. She just looks at her like her mother. It's like that moment when you're a teenager and you find out that your dad smokes pot. You're like, my dad smokes pot like me. Yeah. He's a human like me. Like it's. I think everybody has a moment when they have to look at their parents as a.
And for some people, I think that happens where you go, oh, I understand them better. Or if you were the kid who put like your parents on this pedestal and they could do no wrong. And then you go, oh, they're a human. They can do wrong and they can, it kind of goes both ways, is seeing someone as a fully realized.
Right. But that's why I think it's good to bring your kids along. You know what I mean? When they're really little.
I agree.
So you can say, hey, I didn't get that thing I wanted. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times a little kid can look at their dad like he's a Superman or mom like she's a saint. You're just like, no, man, get that shit out of your head right away.
And I think kids are so much more apt to feel a lie.
Yeah.
And when that lie comes crumbling down on them, it's pretty real.
Right.
I agree. I think it's really, not that I know what it's like to have kids, but I think it's great when parents sort of expose the truth.
Expose the truth. Just like this is the way the world works. You don't lie to them about the weather. Why would you lie to them about trying to work for giant corporations? You know what I mean? You can say, no, a lot of this stuff isn't fair at all.
Yeah.
It's not. But instead, we do this thing of you can achieve any of your dreams. You could work at your dreams. Doesn't mean you're going to achieve them.
Right.
But to go also back to the idea of working alongside your family, it's kind of interesting because people say to me like, "Oh man, that's so unique," but it didn't used to be.
No,
it was very much
family businesses are. Sorry, I got very passionate and interrupted you, but I feel very similarly because there's the talk of nepotism and oh my God, you got where you are, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know that no one gives favors when dollar bills are involved?
Right.
Like you learn, and there's a great gift of being exposed to like-minded artists and people, but that's the advantage.
And it's like then your childhood was like your apprenticeship. You know what I mean? Like you are learning about this thing because you were around it your whole life. Why would you go like oh, if I have an interest in that thing, why would you deny it just because you're like, oh, I have to do something different?
I totally agree. I think it's really interesting that if it's something to do with in the arts, everyone gets confused by it. But if it's like a store or I can't think of anything else. I'm like making shoes.
Or politicians are the same way, It's like they're like, oh, of course, a Kennedy goes into politics. It's like that's all they know. Like that's literally what they grew up around. That's when they heard adult conversation around the dinner table and at every event. Like that's how they were raised.
Yeah, you pick up on stuff via osmosis, whether you know it or not.
It's whether you know it or not. And just think, I mean, when you were a kid, you probably met so many interesting people through your parents, right?
Definitely.
Why would you want to not do that? You know what I mean? This is the most fascinating people that you meet.
I know. And I think it took me a little bit of time to realize why shy away from that? Why try to hide from the fact that I'm proud of my folks and proud to be doing the same thing. I don't know if you have that at all.
I do, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really, I'm like, I'm so annoying now. I'm like interviewing you. You're like, Zoey, that's not how this works, darling.
She's going to make me cry.
But the fact that maybe that gave you more confidence to make an edgier movie like this.
Look, I don't have that struggle of having to sit my parents down and be like, hey, guys, you're going to have a hard time watching this one. They get it.
Yeah.
They get it. They're stoked and they want me to be creatively fulfilled. And this was Flower, which is in theaters and select theaters now.
Chris isn't plugging anymore.
God damn it. God, plug my movie.
Zoey Deutch is in studio. And Flower's playing now in select theaters and released nationally this Friday, March 23rd.
Yeah, you should go see it. I really think you should.
And it is the kind of movie that you could debate later, which 100%. We don't always do that anymore.
And I thought it was great what you said about, female characters when you have an anti-hero. Because I thought about this in the movie. There are things that she says and things that she does that you go, oh man, she does something that you would be like, that is very unlikable. That's an unlikable thing to say about someone or to do to someone. And then you have to like that. I mean, for some reason,
James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause.
I call her a 17. I call her Travis Bickle put into a 17-year-old girl's body with a pet rat, and that's who she is.
Right.
She is, and I love her. And I actually found her to be. I didn't think she was unlikable, but I guess I'm not really staring at that stuff. I'm looking at relatability, which I always found her to be very relatable.
But there she has cruel moments that she's cruel to, her new stepbrother, and there is a growth process, which I think that a lot of times in films and in TV shows we're very comfortable with a male character. Sure. We're going, oh yeah, he's a complex guy, got it, and then we go on the journey, and then you love him by the end.
He has a lot of toxic masculinity. Like, okay, but like what? No, and I think for me, what's really fun about making a movie like this is what you said. It forces you to maybe have a few conversations that are uncomfortable or confronting, or and that people don't really feel indifferent about it. They have strong feelings, which I like.
Thank you so much for stopping in today.
Thank
really,
you,
really
Zoey.
fun.
Thank you, guys.
And Chris, nice big plug here. Really sound great.
Come on, I really like this one.
Zoey Deutch has been in studio. Flower is her film, and it's playing now in select theaters. It's released nationally this Friday, March 23rd.
We'll see you next time coming in. Bye.
Bye.
That was great. So she's adorable and
she's
great.
So sweet.
And cool.
She's a very cool chick.
How about how she's like, I don't know how many movies she's done already, 10, 12. And she's like, I think I'm not getting enough movies.
She's super young too.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is. She's younger than Vito.
I know.
And look at your life compared to her life.
Yeah.
And you went to film school.
It's drastically different. She was so nice. She came in, waved to me. That made my day.
Yeah, she goes, is that his son? And she thought that you were Chris's son.
Oh, that's nice.
The whole thing was a family affair.
I like the comparisons. Chris doesn't.
Why, Chris?
Because I'm my own person. I don't just look like
you
Vito.
Feel like you're better than Vito, and that's really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm better than Vito.
Why would you say that?
Well, I don't go around threatening to beat people up all the time, Ron.
That's not true.
You threatened to beat me up about a half hour ago, and then you threatened to beat up
Chris.
Jay
Call
Gomez
it HR,
before
not
that.
us.
Okay.
Take this directly to HR.
They'll be for a shock.
Ba-da-dum, boom, boom, boom. That could be Jen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Trinidad had a bigger film industry.
Yes, if they had their own like Bollywood scene.
Hey, did you see that Cynthia Nixon is running for governor?
I have seen. It's kind of surreal, and yet, is anything weird anymore?
No, nothing is.
That I'm just like, oh yeah, one of the Sex and the City girls could be the governor.
Do you know, until yesterday, I thought the name of that show was Sex in the City?
It's Sex and
the City.
Yeah.
I think my name is a better name.
I know. It's actually one of those common, we've talked about them before. It's like most people have it wrong, and so it becomes like a universal truth.
Even though other people think the same thing?
Everyone assumes that it's Sex in the City.
I was always confused by it.
Now I was even thinking, maybe I learned it before and forgot. That's how little of a thing it is to care about.
What was her character on Sex in the City? All
Samantha.
No, that's the only one I know. Miranda. Yeah, Vito will watch the show.
Now, I'm going to probably vote for her just based on comedic thinking anyway. Who are you voting for? Because this is the big battle, I guess, will be in the primary, right? They're both Dems?
Yes.
I'm Team Miranda all day. I love
she is Miranda.
Yeah, she was Miranda.
Isn't that what I said?
You said Samantha.
Oh, okay.
Samantha, Charlotte, Carrie, Miranda.
Oh, you watched it all?
I watched it all. Me and my mom for years shared a room, so I had to watch what she had to watch.
Well, here's the thing. Carrie is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha's the
Carrie is the married to
Sarah Jessica Parker.
SJP.
She's a journalist.
I haven't seen Divorce this year. I watched
haven't
the
seen
hell
it
out
yet.
of it the first season, and it's like it's fallen off the map.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they lost some of the great writers.
So then Samantha's the sex pot.
Yeah.
Then the other one's the prude.
Charlotte.
Charlotte's the prude. What's Miranda?
Miranda's just like...
She's a sweet one?
She's a sweet one, smart one. She ends up with Steve.
Yeah, it's just like that's
Steve.
like
Steve had
that doesn't
duck
seem like
cancer.
a cool name.
yeah, like everyone else just had a thing.
I thought
And she's
Mr.
like,
Big was the guy.
That's
That was
Carrie's
Carrie's
guy.
But Mr. Big slept with all of them.
Oh, because he was so big.
In real life, I mean. By the way, we only talked about it for a second, but please, now that's come to our attention, don't let Ivanka stop cosplaying. I love the fact
I love it too.
that she goes to the Olympics and acts like she's the skier. She goes to the science thing, acts like she's a scientist. I just want to think of places to send her. You know what I mean? I want to put her on fishing boats. Just have her. I mean, that's the funniest ever.
I know.
It looks like a porn stock photo. That's
Dude, why do you got to fucking
what?
porn?
That's fucked
It's
up. She's a very
adorable.
nice lady.
I'm saying she's attractive. That's all. And she's like, does
Also, just attractive people just belong in porn.
prefer that.
There's no such thing as a porn stock photo either.
Time's up, Chris. You
Time's
fucking
up, Chris.
asshole.
Watch some Butterface porn and fucking
right.
learn.
Give it a shot.
All right, Chris, you said you found this story that a woman has been harassed online because of her hot husband.
Yes, a woman is. So she posts this picture of herself walking down the beach with her husband, and now people are giving her shit like, "How the hell did you get that?"
Why
guy?"
does anyone go on the internet?
I
don't
know.
know.
Why would you do it?
And like her husband, I
Is she very unattractive?
no, this is the. All right, so this
She
it's
has
on-
big thighs.
Yeah, she has big
What?
thighs. And he's like, you know, has a
That's not
six-pack.
that weird. That's not that weird.
You know what?
Can I zoom in? Like, is she facially hideous? Because it's just like she's just curvy.
She's just curvy.
And I'm not even just using that phrase like when people say, "Oh, they call it curvy, but she's heavy set." Like, no, she's literally just like a curvy lady.
Yeah, but he's got back muscles. I mean, he's too ripped. He's got to get himself a dad bod.
Then people will be comfortable with this woman and her husband.
And where are they?
Can I
What
see
kind
more
of
pics
hazy
of this?
island
Like-
is this? There was only 3, right?
There was only 3.
And who put this up? Post?
Oh, the Post. Yeah, the Post.
Why would the Post think that this is a story?
I don't know. And so she's being harassed just
Yeah.
because she has like thick thighs.
Yeah, like she doesn't deserve this fucking ripped dude.
I don't know. Maybe she's funny. You know?
Yeah.
You know, funny girls get hot guys.
She might be just a fucking barrel of monkeys, that one. You know what I mean? Jokestress.
What is she funny or something?
Jokestress.
It's like the best running fucking gag. What is she funny or something?
What are you looking for? More pictures of her, Chris?
Yeah.
This is fucking seriously. It's like shaming.
I know. Let's see more.
But there's nothing for her to be ashamed about. People are fucking busting her balls because she has a hot husband.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's really hot.
I don't think he's that hot. I think he's a butterface.
Yeah. He's a butterface. She's a butter body. I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, there's nothing wrong with a good butter body when you're also funny. You know what I mean?
It was a funny one, that one.
Look at my face and my jokes. She looks fun.
Yeah, she does. She looks like she's humping him right there on the beach.
Yeah.
She can't get enough of it.
Just because he has abs, who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a fucking dope.
She also calls him Mr. Six Pack. That was like her. Like,
God.
Yeah.
Does he drink a lot? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I got one of those at home too.
Yeah. When he's driving. Where's she at there? She seems to be at the beach constantly.
I know. I'm like,
the fuck is she, a travel agent?
These are like pro photos. I think she's a model.
Plus size?
Yeah, like she. Look at all of these are like super pro photos.
All right, these stories are up on the iBank. Oh, let me see the butt picture.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You skip the butt and the titties.
No. Right there's the butt
there's
picture.
the butt picture.
Oh, boy.
What?
Mr. Six Pack
I'm just
loves
saying
it.
butter butt.
That's a lot of butt.
Yeah.
Some guys like butts.
And maybe
That
she's
go
and you know what? Here's the other
as
thing
well.
about her. Maybe she's cool about bringing in other women. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be just super cool.
Or like maybe she's good with kids or something. I don't know.
Maybe she baked.
She has good style. Doesn't that count for men? You
With
guys
a
don't give a
hat.
shit.
I've never noticed anyone's
Oh
style.
my God, I always notice it. For men and women. Looks fun. She's like in her granny panties.
When I saw Nikki the other night, I told her she had a cool jacket, and she's like, "Thank you. No one ever brings that up, and this is a really expensive, cool jacket. You're the first person who said anything." And then she's like, "And then I'll put on some dumb sweater, and everybody will tell me they love it." And I'm like, "All right, I'll slow this down."
Don't punish them.
No, I know what it's like when people are saying, you know, this haircut of mine has gotten a lot of buzz from the ladies. I mean, a lot. Here, the stand, everywhere. And I was just like, how bad did my hair look before? I like fucking wearing
Oh my
a little
God. They see them like, finally.
bit. Yeah, they were saying stuff like that. And I go, look, I get my hair cut twice a year. Shag it up, cut her down. Everybody have fun tonight. Vito has a story up on the iBang where he claims payphones are still a big thing in the U.S. How could that be true?
Can't
There's
be.
only like 2 in the city of New York.
No, well, 5% of the nation's payphones are in
Wait,
New York.
just stop for a second. You said 5%.
5%.
Okay.
Of the
What's a percent?
$100,000 payphones are in the nation, and we got 5% right here in New York.
Not in Manhattan, dude. Maybe there's a lot of fucking Bronx and
No.
Queens payphones.
There's not.
But you can't find shit in Manhattan.
I feel like I'm always passing by payphones in the city.
Name one. You're in Midtown. You know how many payphones used to be in this fucking area?
Oh, I know. I mean, it used to be a crazy amount, but now you still see them on corners and stuff.
No,
Name one. Name a corner.
You might see the old like husk of one where one was,
Yeah.
but they fucking rip them out and then put in those giant fucking metal things.
You're
that you
thinking
plug
of
your phone
phone
into.
husks, dude.
By the
Nothing
way,
on phone husks?
no one uses them.
Never.
Never.
Maybe a homeless guy?
Never even see that. I'll ask Perry. So you're bringing in a bullshit story. Everything Louis J. Gomez said about you was correct.
I hope he beats you down.
He has nothing to do with.
Hope he puts you in a fucking armbar or whatever.
Why? You just want to see somebody beat me up because I could beat the shit out of you?
Oh,
Wait.
look at this fucking tough guy.
Wait, I just thought of something. Like, what if we put Vito in this, right? And then he gets knocked down, but he falls and his head hits the stool, and then he ends up crippled, and we have to kill him.
I wouldn't kill him. I'd make sure that he had to live through it.
God
That's
damn,
a
Chris.
fucking terrible thing to say about someone.
Why do you hate him that much?
Just sit in the
Even
office.
when he bites his tongue off to try to kill himself.
You're the only one not going to Ready Player One, right?
I'm not going to Ready Player One.
What is the story there? You got something going on Costa Rican
I
style?
have no Costa Rican style things happening. They wouldn't let me into the screening.
Why?
No, he told me he didn't want to go weeks ago, and then fuck
ago?
him. Fuck him. Fuck him. He said weeks ago he didn't want to go. That's so annoying.
They won't let
So
me.
did you want to go or not?
I tried again in the screening. They said no dice. They were not letting anyone.
Why? I have a +1. I'm
I
not
know.
using. Gail is a +1.
I have a +1 I'm not using.
I'm trying to jump in on it, but they need the person's name, and they won't take my name to get into the screening.
Good. You're going to be the only one who doesn't say this mind-blowing movie.
RPO.
Yeah, that comes to you from the genius mind of Stefan Spielberg.
Oh, Spielberg.
He made such movies as Ready Player One.
And others. And more.
Like the Ready Player One extras. Hey, did you notice that when I brought up that movie to her, she kind of played it down and she goes, Richard Linklater's is J, but she wasn't into it as much as me.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I know.
That seemed like her first like big break, that movie.
Yeah, and then she said, you're the only people that I've ever talked to that didn't bring up my parents, and then I did.
Which is hilarious.
Her mom was the it girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys ever saw a movie called Back to the Furniture.
No,
It was so big. He went back and got his furniture that his parents had at their prom at the Under the Sea dance.
Why do you need it so bad?
And then we found out what a fucking thief Chuck Berry was.
Yeah.
We thought he was bringing something new and fresh.
Just some white kid came up with it.
Yeah.
Or did he? I don't really understand.
Christina P. Shows off her baby bump. This is the first time I ever saw the iBang do somewhat of a Kim Kardashian towards comedy.
Yeah, they did. She looks great.
I would have just called this Tom Segura got some out. He gets it. All of us crush on Christina P.
Yeah, she's
And
awesome.
all of us feel so much better that she shortened her name to P.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was too hard for us.
Yeah.
Anglo tongues. All right, the Irish girl losing it on the amusement park ride. I don't know why we love seeing people freaked out
Yes.
on an amusement park ride, but we do.
There's like a superiority feeling that you have that you're like, hey, I'd be scared, but
Not
I
that
wouldn't,
scared.
I wouldn't be doing
Nobody will
that.
know it.
But this girl has maybe one of the worst meltdowns I've ever seen. Like, you can see that.
But she's not happy before it.
Yeah.
And here's the fact that this Irish girl, I think this is a basketball tournament or a volleyball tournament or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's with like a real white bread American girl, and then she couldn't be more of a Mick.
Wait, what? Oh my god! Let's go, Megan! Let's go! The video gone. Oh my! Oh my god! Oh my god! No, 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 no!
We're having internet trouble today.
Oh my god!
You have to hit pause and then refresh it.
He gets really confused.
Let's go, Megan! Let's go! The video gone. Oh my! Oh my god! Oh my god! No, 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 no! Oh my god!
She's already scared. Nothing's happened.
She literally just tilted backwards.
Fine.
This is called the slingshot.
I'm fucking freaking out.
I'm fucking
Do you
freaking
know
out.
I'm gonna go?
Fucking freaking out.
She's pure terror. Look at her eyes. Pure terror. Why do people want to feel that way? Calm down.
Calm down. Her friend is hanging upside down. She gets up laughing. She just says, calm
Oh
down.
my god! Oh my god, let me down!
Let me out.
I'm done!
I'm done.
I'm done.
Oh my god, let me down!
This is smoked up.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! Oh my god, put me down! They're putting us down! Look at the view!
Look at the view.
Look at the view. Oh my
Have some
god.
fun.
The way her friend is losing
Yeah.
it.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, we're going down. I can't breathe. Oh my god.
Man, look how fucking Ride Boys look the same no matter what year it is.
They dress the same.
Yeah, they dress the same, and nothing says inbred alcoholic more than a Ride Boy. There was that other thing the other day, that extreme tattoo thing, and it's just the grossest thing ever.
It's so gross. There's one in there in particular. So it's all like extreme tattoos and extreme body modifications and all that kind of stuff. But the white of the eyeball tattoos really freak me out. And there's a girl on there who they've just like made the whites of her eyes purple. And it just looked so painful. It makes me sick just looking at it.
You know how complicated an eyeball is, and now you want to fuck around with it?
Yeah, God.
One girl went blind from doing that too.
Huh?
Like a girl who did the eyeball tattoo went blind from them doing
Yeah,
it.
why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, what's with you and the urban myth all of a sudden?
No, I mean,
Vito?
it just
You're
happened.
the one who said you beat up people.
I think there's a series of pictures if you click if they're all so gross.
And people that split their tongues.
The splitting tongue thing is fucking.
Is there like a body modification that to you is like the worst one that you can't even deal with?
Pierced ear.
Pierced ear, huh?
Gross.
Just right through the lobe.
Yeah.
How could you?
Do you consider like fingernail polish to be body modification?
Some people do.
Because I do.
Some people
Yeah.
do.
I'm like, why would that be blue? What are you fucking just trying to tell me?
No, but why is it that we love to do it?
You say we. No one on this show is tattooed but you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, me and Jen, just the ladies.
I didn't know Jen had a tattoo.
Yep, me and Jen have tattoos.
Jen, what is your tattoo?
I've told you the Rihanna tattoos.
No.
Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of Rihanna related tattoos.
How many tats do you have?
3, yeah.
And there's places no one can see?
They're like my side and then my rib on my left side.
Why, Jen?
Why Rihanna?
And why not just why don't we put some blue in your eyeball?
Ooh, no.
I see no difference between your Rihanna tattoo
Really?
and that blue in the eyeball.
Come
It's
on.
both gross. It's both gross to me.
See, Jen is like me where it's like, I have summer tattoos. Like I never see them in the winter and I usually forget that they exist.
Yeah. I try to forget that your tattoos exist. And your tattoos came from a bad boyfriend, right? It was always his idea?
No.
He went and got a tattoo every time with you. Now he's all tatted up, right?
Yeah, he has a lot of tattoos now.
And there's nothing
Actually,
about him that seems tattoo.
Every person I've dated other than my current boyfriend has been
Weird that
tattooed.
you would even call him current. It seems so
Like-
fragile. Like it's not going to last.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean,
We're
I don't know.
currently together. Can I tell you something? You better start and settle down. And I'll tell you, they're not going to buy a cow if they got milk at home.
I'm giving up a lot of milk, if you know what I'm saying, guys.
I was confused by that. You're not going to get ice cream if the milk is expensive.
Here's the thing. What if the milk's expired?
Has this turned?
And then you're happy to give it away for free.
It smells sour milk coming out soon. Chunky sour milk. Are you tired of smooth, weightless milk? We've got chunky sour milk coming your way. Oh, and buy here or Vito will kill you.
Oh, I just bought like grass-fed organic milk, and it was like cream on top, so you have
Yeah.
to shake it. But when you taste it, it literally tastes different.
Tastes like grass.
It tastes earthier. It was so good. But it is weird to be like, oh, forgot to shake the milk. There's a thick layer of butteriness on the top of this.
Sounds good.
Look at Vito just made a face.
What?
You eat,
What do
you
you
eat
fucking
food
care about
24
my
hours.
milk?
You eat food 24 hours a day.
You know what? Let's get in the squared circle over this.
I don't want to fight you, Gail. It's Luis J. Gomez.
What if you lose to him?
Oh, well, then I fucking lost, but I don't think I'm going to. You got to go in there with confidence. A fighter can't go in thinking they're going to lose.
You should be realistic.
Yeah. I think Gomez will whip your ass, and I'm not saying that as an insult.
It's just the truth.
Seems pretty insulting.
Particularly, you were the one who just said you would allow MMA. Now, if you had said, look, we're only doing boxing rules, I would go, you got a shot. I mean, you have a shot if you can get yourself into some shape, you plant yourself.
Get your cardio up.
Yeah, like I think you could do it. But you're opening an MMA world. You don't know what he's going to be like, taking you down. He's
You know
like
what? That
nimble.
shit, you know what? I'm going to agree with fucking Vito. That shit's bullshit. You know, if it were true, we'd see karate guys winning fights all the time. It doesn't fucking happen. When you get in a bar and somebody gets in a karate stance, you're always like, that dude's going to get fucked up. And it happens every single time.
Like one of those big wide ones like this.
You know what? I'll tell you this. Like all Puerto Ricans, Luis J. Gomez has been in fights and won a lot of fights. But it's always against women. This is going to be the first time that the LJG. I don't know why we don't get into that. We should.
I could start training with Cooney. He's told me before he thinks I look like a fighter.
Dude, I saw Cooney put paws on Vito, and he went back like 5 feet. And he wasn't trying to be rough with him. He was like, hey, man, like gave him just like a what's up smack. And Vito was like, whoa.
Jerry Cooney fought for the fucking championship of the world. I mean, that's a badass thing to do, and he fought since he was a kid. And he's a big, strong dude. But I saw him the other night at the Garden. Everybody was glad to see him. He was running the fucking joint and constantly doing his shake a little kid's thing and act like his hands.
It's very funny.
And it's adorable
it goes
every single
over
time.
Really well.
Yeah. It works every single time. Chris, when you get up and start moving your papers, nothing drives me crazier. Do you want to take a break?
We should take a break.
Don't throw a paper at me and act like that should be it, though. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, Chris. I'm serious about this. By the time you order takeout, you're already ravenous. You find what you want, but after tax, delivery fee, and tip, the cost of your meal doubles. And you still have to wait another 45 minutes for your food to arrive. So you just end up snacking.
With HelloFresh, you can prepare and eat home-cooked meals for less than $10 a plate, long before any overpriced takeout would arrive. Just go to HelloFresh.com, pick out the recipes you want. They're delivered directly to your doorstep every week in a special insulated box, along with easy-to-follow step-by-step instructions and full-color pictures.
Each HelloFresh box includes fresh seasonal ingredients that are perfectly portioned, so there's no waste. Just delicious meals that you can make in 30 minutes or less. And for a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box when you go to HelloFresh.com/raw plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/raw for $30 off.
HelloFresh.com/raw.
And it's the Bennington Show right here before what they are calling the fourth nor'easter of this month. The explosive the East Coast is going to get an explosion of snow that they said that could put us in a 1,000-year ice age.
Oh my, I had no idea. I thought this was just going to be like one of these ones that they say is going to be really bad and then we barely get snow.
And yet we will. We shall. They said up to 7 feet of snow.
Well, I don't know. Are we going to be able to make it in?
Well, I saw the guy today at noon, and he said if you're in a farming community, shoot your livestock now. He says it's much better
You don't think that's
than letting them start tonight.
preemptive, don't you think? I mean,
I understand there is a takeover at 3 o'clock today, Chris. Is there anything we can do to defend us?
It's a take.
Is it hostile in nature?
No, friendly.
Not with us. We're like France. We allow people to come in.
Come right in. Our borders are open to you.
Yeah.
Chris Gethard will be taking over today on Raw Dog at 3 p.m. His show, The Chris Gethard Show Live, is premiering.
Chris Gethard.
Tonight at 11 on True TV.
You never let yourself get caught in between like that. That didn't make much sense. Just True
Tonight.
TV. Yeah. True TV or True TV? Now, what is a takeover? I've never listened to one. Do they honestly take things over?
The person taking over takes over the channel of Raw Dog and plays the people they want to hear. So it'll be Chris Gethard picking some of his most favorite comedy bits from his favorite people playing them.
He's just going to keep playing Morrissey.
Is he going to be rocking? Is that what you're saying?
And then he'll be playing words, audio, no
What?
music.
Words? You mean comedy?
Comedy would be that. That's what I'm talking
So
about.
you're a wordsman, are you not?
You know, the Netflix half-hour shows are out. And Gilist is on that. So here's the thing about Gilist. Gilist has a half-hour comedy special coming on Netflix. And tomorrow night, right here on NBC, you'll be able to see him on The Tonight Show.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Now, he said to me, you know, Joe's a worrier. I don't know whether you guys know that.
I got
but
picked up on it.
He's anxious. He has what science calls anxiety. And he said to me the other night, every time he does one of these shows, just before his name is announced, he's afraid he's going to shit himself. No, he said that to me without a hint of humor, and yet I laughed. He said it as if it was a concern. Like, what if you shit yourself? Which, by the way,
just don't go out.
It's the worst.
Like, that's really the solution. It's like, I can't. I'm
with
just
Jimmy
shitting.
going like this, Joe? All right. My two sisters are telling me that he shit himself right down his pant leg.
Wear brown pants, dude.
Who's the comedian from Chicago that everybody loves now?
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Remind me to tell him it's Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay.
He's been in this place called Chipotle. He's back there chopping chicken. I can't. Uber. You guys heard of this thing called Uber?
Yeah.
You been in one of these Uber?
Now they got a heat fish scrape.
My dad looks at me and says, go start a business.
I am. Remind me to tell Joe, because he's stopping in here today, Gilist.
Yeah, Gilist.
What did Paul need from you, Vito? Did he want us to plug something?
He just wanted to see if I had a CD for him to use here.
Please,
nice.
our CDs are your CDs, Paul.
I gave
Except
him
for the
one.
ones
You know
from
what? I want
mine.
you to go. If he goes, so you be at him and say, do you have a CD?
Hey,
Right?
do you have a CD in here I could use?
What? Don't you CDs?
CDs what?
CDs!
Ah, dude.
Look how he oversteps. Don't you understand
That's not
timing?
a Paul impression.
That's what Paul says.
First of all, it isn't a Paul,
no.
Paul impression. You never want to step on a fucking punchline. Didn't
Yeah,
they
the
teach you that at
punchline
the
is
Film
the
Academy?
end. The reaction isn't the end.
I thought it was a knock-knock joke situation where I came back.
Now he just stops. He fucking steps on the joke, and then he stops cold. He's like, oh shit, there's no joke here. There was Veets before you put your schnoz in it.
Yeah. You want the reaction to be the end of the joke instead of the punchline. That's like in Mexican TV.
Do you know?
Like the end is like, what?
I'll tell you who does it worse than anybody in the world. And that's the Pardon the Interruption show. Every day after the guy hits his punchline, Wilbon is just fucking trekking on, saying how that shouldn't even happen. Every fucking day now for 15 years.
Why won't he let him have the last laugh?
Mm-mm. I think he thinks I got to fill this fucking time. Well, the time is filled by laughter. You just don't have a studio audience.
Guys, I have to get some losh. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. By losh, does she mean lotion?
I think, yeah.
I can't keep up with these fucking kids nowadays.
I'm surprised Wilbon and is still there since they fired everyone else. Over at
Wilbon is a fucking king. What's his partner's name?
Again.
Tony Kornheiser?
He's a prince.
Like the Saudi guy?
Who do you think most people identify with and like better?
I'm going to say Wilbon.
I bet that you're wrong, though, because they gave the other guy Monday Night Football. Kornhauser.
Yeah.
But I think it's Wilbon too.
Wilbon's the best.
And this guy treats Wilbon like shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like he should just fucking pay.
It's fucking racism if it's anything.
Yeah, and Wilbon should bring that up and just call him a fucking racist.
I don't think it's Wilbon's place. I think we should do it.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Let's go up to Bristol and let that racist know what's what.
How do you fucking not know anything? They do that show out of D.C. every week. They're
They
not in
do?
Bristol.
I thought they were in Bristol.
Now I know you don't watch.
I love Wilbon.
No, you don't.
Yes,
You don't
I
even
do.
know where she did. You'd be up Bristol like a fucking idiot. They go like there once every 4 years. What are you getting, a little ashy?
Yeah, getting a little ashy.
Now show us the cream at the outpost. Is that even a thing to do? Outpost.
Lotion, anyone?
I don't like lotion. Like I to the point where
You
like
need
I
it, dude.
I don't need it. My skin's great.
No, it isn't, dude. You look like a road map right now. Your body has topography.
I like the dryness. The
I'll
lotion.
tell you this, Chris. You know how you like Wilbon?
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're the Wilbon of this fucking show.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're that guy. All right?
Okay.
You're that fucking guy. Hey, would you write down who's all doing that thing that I got coming up?
Yes.
I did see something.
But you
know-
can't say something, right?
Well, no, I'm supposed to keep a secret as always. If it's not my show, it's a secret. My shows, they're out fucking front, okay? One thing I'm going to say to you, the listener, you don't ever get any of that bull hockey out of me. All right? You get prime time truth. And if you believe that, you're a fucking rube. I am Superman.
That's the
I think I just met that guy. This is why I brought it up.
Okay.
But we had no recognition towards each other. Babe introduced us from the Chip Chipperson show. Babe, I'm leaving. How come that song never got covered? I want to just fucking find a bunch of songs that need to be covered.
Dude, you know where you'd take them, right, too?
Where?
I was just listening to it in the bathroom, is where they do, like, the coffee house covers.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, so it's like any song that's supposed to be hard or fast, but done, like, acoustic and chill.
Oh.
Is on, like, Coffee House, which has a show, like, has a segment called Coffee House Covers.
Now, first of
I was
all,
really enjoying it.
Here's the way I like any fucking metal tune that's been slowed down and sung by a choir of children. You sound really fucking scared.
That would be great for the trailer of my movie.
Yes. It seems spooky, like children ghosts are singing to us. I got some ideas for movies too, man, but I don't think I'll ever get them done because of fucking Holly weird, you know?
Maybe I could help you.
Nobody can help me right now. I'll tell you what's going to help me is a belt around my neck.
No. That'll hurt everyone, including yourself.
Stop it, Wilbon.
Well, Bon. Well, Bon. Well, Bon.
Look at Vito just sitting there fucking staring at everybody.
He's probably thinking about hurting us.
Oh, he just sent us a text. Joe List is here. We'll go get the motherfucker. So we okayed for the snowstorm to get hotels?
Yes, we are.
This is like a really, it's that serious?
They're saying 17 fucking feet. Well, first of all, he got one for the last one. We got a hotel for the last one. It was just a light rain.
Yeah.
I got a hotel for dogs. I don't know why you booked me in that.
It's not a bad idea for a fucking nice film. All right, you know how mouse love dogs, right?
Yes.
I had an idea, and it's similar, but it's must love rattlesnakes. And it's about a girl,
Cute.
right? She's looking for the right guy, but she has a house filled with rattlesnakes. And the dudes, every time a dude dates her, he gets bit and he dies from rattlesnake poisoning. Funny? Yeah, it is. Sad? Obviously.
Dark.
I'll say this. Somebody fucking put Oscar in a jumpsuit and wrap a parachute around his neck because he's going to be landing right here on Must Love Rattlesnakes. We got Joe or not?
Jen is leading him down the hallway now.
I mean, you texted he's here when he's here. By the way, what happened outside there where we were trying to bring in Zoey Deutch?
They were trying to figure out the release date of their movie.
She's cute, though, huh?
She's very cute. I liked her a lot.
If Chris wasn't already dating someone.
I know.
We'd be perfect together.
Oh, bigger than her, though.
So?
He's bigger than his chick, too.
Oh, yeah.
She's always on top, right?
I'm not going into the details of our
Just tell us that so I know that her ribs and sternum are safe.
You know, everything's safe with her. I want everyone to know that.
She's still alive, so.
Hey, Vito, fuck you, you lonely fuck.
All right.
Oh,
Easy,
man,
guys.
that one got
I'm
me.
just saying he's attacking me.
I know, but Will Bond,
He's the one. Here's the thing. I'm the one who brought up your girlfriend's ribs and sternum,
Yeah.
and then he lashes out at Vito.
And I'm the maniac.
Yes.
Yes, you threatened to beat me up
Honestly,
3 times
Vito,
today.
you're
bring
still
in
the
Joe
maniac
List.
of the
Let's
week.
bring in Joe List and try to get
Work
the
it
show
out.
back on track. What do you got? What do you got to plug, Chris?
Joe List is coming.
Joe List.
Joe List is coming. in
Joe
studio.
List.
He'll be
Play
on-
the song.
He'll be on the Tight Show tomorrow night and in Stand Up Season 2 Netflix.
The tight show. You called it the tight show.
The
Why
Tonight
would he
Show.
hit it?
Is on the list because Joe is. I can't resist because Joe is on the list. There can be only one. Because Joe is on the list because Joe is. I can't resist because Joe is on the list. We're so glad that he
I love the keyboard in that too. Joe List, it's the week of Joe List. Netflix today. Tonight
is, everybody.
Show Thursday.
Thursday. It airs Friday. I found out.
it airs
Yeah,
Friday.
Shooting Thursday, airing Friday.
Do you know who the big celebrities are with you?
I do. I'm a little nervous. Leslie Mann.
Oh,
and,
boy.
And then, God, I'm spacing. Jim Jeffries is on. So I feel weird being a comedian after a comedian.
Yeah, that doesn't normally happen in broadcast TV.
No, I think I'm screwed. Well, but Sam Morril told me he went on Conan after Bill Burr, and it was the best set he ever had. So I assume.
Yeah, but the best set Sam ever had is not all that strong.
No, it's not great. Overrated.
Now, you told me the other night, and you told me, I'll say this probably in confidence, and you told me seriously, that you always have a concern right before you go out on a big network show.
Yes.
That you may what?
Have a panic attack and lose my mind and not be able to speak.
And then shit yourself.
And
you
shit
said.
myself. Oh, did I say shit myself?
Yeah, when you
that's-
said that, I laughed because you're a funny person, but then I saw that it was an actual concern.
Well, I have a bad diet and I'm a nervous guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I prefer to not even mention late nights till after they're in the can.
Right.
If I may use some show business terminology.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's terrifying. I get anxious and I'm afraid of my own anxiety and the whole thing's terrifying. But your thoughts are not reality and fear is just fear.
Huh.
Okay.
Yes.
That seems like you read that somewhere.
Well, my therapist told it to me, and then I read it over and over again in my notes section of my phone.
I'm gonna tell you a story that Sebastian Maniscalco told me one time.
Oh, I can't
He
wait.
did the Tonight Show. Everything was pulling along, and he just blanked out. He blanked out and just kind of stood there. And Jimmy Fallon comes running over and goes, "Hey, buddy, no problem. Let's just redo it. Everybody, you ready to do it?" And they reshot it, and I thought it would have been probably more interesting TV if Fallon would have left it in.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is you got no concerns.
Oh, that makes me feel good. I appreciate that because that is a concern. And I've done 3 late nights, and I've flubbed a line on all 3 of them. I'm
Yeah.
batting 1,000.
Right.
3 for 3. So that might happen again. Yesterday, I did a show at Pink's, a bar in the East Village, which there couldn't be less pressure on a comedian.
Right, yeah.
But I was putting myself in my head that moment of like, all right,
Yeah.
you're on. And then I
Yeah.
flubbed lines at Pink's. I was like, and there was like 10 people like, what's wrong with this guy?
You know, I was at the stand the other night, and the receptionist was saying who's going to be here tonight? And she's like, and Joe List. Yes, he's the guy who flubbed 3 lines in late night.
Oh my God.
The guy is that the guy? I guess the guy watches a lot of late night TV. Isn't that the guy who keeps flubbing lines?
It's bad. I can't help it. I'm like, it's not even like at the beginning always.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle. I'm like, and then another boo.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? No one seems to notice.
No, nobody really notices it. It comes across more like you're a person rather than, you've memorized like an actor.
That's good. Yeah. Well, that's good. All right. I'm going to flub.
You'll seem natural if you do that.
You got to accept the flub. That's my new mantra. I have many mantras now. 'Cause I go to
Accept the
therapy.
flub.
Accept the flub.
Yeah.
And my other new mantra is that my therapist said, "Where's the joy?" I got the news about the late night, and my cousin had just graduated from the Marine Corps, and I was like, I can't tell my family now. And then I was like, my parents going to come down. If they don't come down, who am I going to bring backstage? Who's going to be hurt?
Yeah.
And my therapist said, Where's the joy?
Yeah.
He's a Jew.
Yeah.
He said, "Where's the joy?" And
I thought it was Mark Norman.
Well, he's a wannabe Jew.
Where's the joy?
Okay.
But that's a very good point because I get to do a lot of things here and I'm like, I do things all the time that I would have celebrated after doing before.
Yes.
And now I'm just like, fuck, I got 4 more things to do. You know what I mean? Like
It happens all the time to us. We'll have a really great show or a live event or something really exciting will happen, a great interview we're looking forward to, and then it ends and we're like, all right, so we got this other thing. And we don't take a minute to go, hey, that thing we were worried it wasn't going to work
for
out.
So long.
Yeah.
It worked out, and now we're moving on before we can even be happy about it.
Where's the joy? Accept the flub.
Yeah.
Kiss your mother on the lips. That's my third mantra. That one is kind of a...
Yeah, that one you got to work on.
Yeah.
That one probably needs work.
Now, Vito, you've got a big event coming up where you're going to fight Louis J. Gomez.
Yeah.
Now,
God.
Joe, I know you're a sporting man. You're from Boston.
Yes, I love sports.
You know both of these gentlemen. Who's going to win this fight?
I don't know Vito all that well. I mean, just based
But
on
look at his
name,
size.
I feel like Luca Brasi will come in and kill him. But
yeah,
you're a big guy, certainly. But Louis is a crazy person.
He is a crazy person, and he laughed at Vito for Vito saying that he could win a fight, and Vito's pissed.
He laughed at me for just saying I punched somebody in the face, which is even more insulting than just laughing at me for saying I could win a fight. He didn't even think that I fucking punched somebody in the face, and that really bothered. And then he laughed at me in front of my friends.
Interesting. Wow.
We're not your friends.
Well, we were laughing too, to be fair.
Yeah.
I would
But
say
it was caused by
co-workers is what I would say.
Look, ask yourself, where's the Jew? Wait, that isn't it. What was it again, Joe? I forgot.
It's where's the joy?
Where's the joy?
The joy. The Jew is for hire. He's on the Upper West Side, and he's really tremendous. It's not cheap. But no, Vito, do you have a fighting background?
I mean, I've been in some fights, but I don't have any trained experience. But I can get that. That's easy. That's not the problem.
Okay. All right.
Then why have
training?
If that's
is
not
easy?
the problem.
That's never been a thing that I thought I had to do. But for this fight, I'm going to be hitting up Jerry Cooney down the hall, have him turn me into a prize fighter.
I don't think Jerry Cooney's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little out of the game, if you know what I'm saying. His last big fight was 1982. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know if he's going to invest the time
No.
in you right now.
I don't know. He's told me before I look like I'm a fighter, so I think we could work
You
together.
look big,
He
yeah. I
told
mean,
me
you're
I
big.
look like a fighter. He told Chrissy.
No,
He
yeah.
says that stuff to everybody.
Yeah.
But
He acts like when I hug him, it hurts.
He might be arthritic. I don't know.
He's struggling. It's not an easy thing.
my gym has a full boxing ring in it with speed bags, with body bags.
Then why haven't you ever used it?
Because I never had to, but now I want to fucking.
Jen, what did you get him?
Well, he wanted green tea, so I gave him other options.
This is shit. I mean, this is.
Jen, why don't we have green tea?
Just make him happy.
Completely out of
Jen,
green tea.
I've
got a
green
couple
tea.
black teas.
I mean,
You
these
do?
are-
I have green tea in the office.
Go to the office.
Go to the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get Joe
Jen,
what he
by the way,
wants.
I don't
geez.
ever remember you wearing
You
such tight jeans as this.
Jeez.
Yeah. Don't you think her jeans are tighter than her normal jeans? Huh? Oh, she's saying they're loose.
These are loose, if
Okay.
anything. I mean, if they're anything,
now
they're
it makes
loose.
it seem like that she put on weight. Was that what I did?
That's what I thought the joke was, and it felt uncomfortable. I was like, this is odd.
They weren't. I thought it was a stylish thing. I get the green tea because the water's getting cold.
It didn't.
Run.
It felt like you really changed the tempo of the show.
I do that all the time. I don't mean so.
Tempo is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, black tea? I mean, what the fuck?
I know,
Jesus
this couldn't be
Christ.
farther from green tea.
There's
Another choice.
My wife has a funny story about every day, and I mean, because of the subject matter, I've given away the punchline, but every day in third grade, she would throw up at the bus stop every single morning, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. They thought she had problems or someone was bullying her, and it turned out she was just drinking English breakfast tea because her mother's English. So every morning she would have like a pint of black tea.
That's no little child can't handle that.
And she's like, "Ah!" Like something's wrong with this woman. I call her a woman. She's 7 years old.
That's a problem, Joe. Until you start to see that correctly.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to not use the term girl anymore. I'm trying to be a good feminist.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to say woman more often. But sometimes
But I
woman
say girl.
doesn't make sense. You do? Okay.
I do.
I'm going to tell people.
I have a show where I talk to women and I call them girls.
Yeah, I think girls like dude in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah. I think that it does happen. But I know that it is a thing, particularly there's something that happens when you're talking about dating. Like guys my age who are dating, what does it do?
Just let her know that she failed in her job. I mean, it's not a big deal. A lot of people fail.
Yeah.
I bomb sometimes.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
She flubbed a tea. She flubbed a tea.
Yeah.
Is really what happened.
Except the flub.
Now, what is it about girls, Gail?
No, it's I think that there is something a little strange because guys my age, when they'll talk about women that they're dating, are like, oh, I just met this girl. Guys older than me, like, oh, I met this girl, and we're like, oh, is she very young? It's like, well, no, she's not. I mean, we're about the same age, and I'm like, oh, okay, so she's an adult woman. And like, there is something, like, there are times that it gets used that is more like almost like infantilizing in some way of the woman. But I think I say girls as like the way I would say guys or dudes,
buddies, pals, girls.
Ladies.
I still have that old school thing of calling two women or friends. I'll say that's your girlfriend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I always say, oh, Jen came in with her girlfriend the other day, and everyone's like, what is she gay? And I go, no, I meant like her friend.
There was just an article about that.
Yeah.
There was an article about how that you're a Nazi for
Yes,
doing that.
but I didn't start as a Nazi. I just became one as the times change. That's the thing. You have to completely realize as you age the things that were acceptable no longer are.
I always used girlfriend, like, oh, my girlfriend and I did this, and I realized people are like, okay, so they're a couple.
Right.
And then I remember when we moved to the city and I would talk about Fez, I would say my dad and his partner, and my friends would be like, oh, that's cool. Because in Florida, partner just meant business partner. You could just say his partner, and people would assume.
Right.
But when I moved here, the partner took on like a new meaning.
Yeah, it means you guys are making love.
Yes, and Fez would always come to all of her school events, and then we'd be sitting next to each other chuckling, and it would be like, those two guys are great. I'm like, you don't see the other woman here? There's a woman here as well, not a girl.
That must be their egg donor.
Yeah.
Well, that happens. That used to happen. I talked about this recently. I talked about it on stage as well. But like when I was a kid or a teenager in my 20s, we'd go to Starbucks, me and my buddy, and I order a coffee and say coffee for my boyfriend.
Yes,
and that would be funny. That was a joke. And now if you do that, they're like, okay, great.
Because it's like, imagine.
Get a coffee. I'm like, how crazy would that be if I was making love to a man? Now it's just like,
Can you imagine? And pigs fly. Am I right, folks?
This is speaking of this is completely off topic, I think, but I'm going to pretend that it's not.
Yeah,
because it's a joke idea that I have. Basically, I'm just bouncing a bit off you guys.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
But this is a real thing that happened where I read a thing. It makes sense because we're talking about reading articles. I'm not apologizing anymore. This is the topic.
Go for it.
I read a thing that a dog is the equivalent of a 2-year-old in intelligence. They're similar. And so I started telling people that because it seemed like a fun topic of conversation. But at some point between reading it and telling people, I mixed up the number and started telling people that dogs are as smart as an 8-year-old. And a lot of people went with it. A lot of people were like, "Oh wow, that's cool." And then a lot of people were like, "That's not right." And I was like, "I read it. It was New York Times." And they're like, "There's no way. Like 8-year-olds read."
Well, they say that pigs have a 5-year-old. We'll put one in kindergarten, see how good the pig does.
Yeah.
It's still going to be running around in mud, just shitting on the floor.
These animals are not smart.
Well, that is kind of strange, though, if you think that if you have a dog and then you have a baby, the baby is born and they're like far inferior to the dog. Like the dog knows, the dog knows her name. She knows when it's time for her food.
Yeah.
And then one day the baby just like surpasses dog.
Yeah.
And
It's like
it's just
showbiz.
like, it's crazy.
Well, that's because like showbiz.
I mean, I used to take Dan Soder around. I'm like, "This is what you do. You do 20, they give you a light." And then he's like, "All right, take care." I was like, "What?"
And then people will get mad about stuff like that. They're like, wait, you know what I mean? There was a thing when Bobcat was 19, he got the Tonight Show.
Yes.
And with Carson. And then all the other Boston comics were like, this is bullshit. How's this fucking... And you're like, well, I don't want to tell you this, but it's not like being a surgeon. You know what I mean? The Carson people just enjoyed what Bobcat was bringing. You know, and thought he would be good for this show. And yet people felt like somehow he had jumped the line. This is wrong.
No.
I've been doing this for 19 years.
We wanted to help you, but not that much.
Yeah.
There is a thing in comedy where people think that time in matter, like they'll just bomb every night, and like, I'm 19 years in. I'm like, well, you've been bombing for 19 years.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
Joe List is in studio. He's part of the Stand Up Season 2, which premieres today on Netflix, and he'll be at the Tonight Show Friday on NBC. And you can see Joe perform around the country at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan, April 5th through the 7th. Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington, April 26th and 27th. And Side Splitters in Tampa, May 3rd through the 6th. ComedianJoeList.com for tickets.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. No, is there a nonstop flight to Tacoma? I always wonder if, you know.
I fly to Seattle. My best friend in the wide world who has a child named after me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is best.
That's big. I mean, I really.
List.
His name is Tiny Mouth Walsh. No, it's, his name is Joe
Walsh.
Baby Joe. Joe Walsh. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
He's the only one.
Joe Walsh was named after you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's aging in reverse. So yeah, it's tough having a kid named after you. I have to like be a good person.
Yeah.
I can't cheat on my wife or
I don't
say
think it brings
racial
any-
slurs. I got to be like a good guy.
I don't think it brings any shame to that child.
But anyways, so I fly to
Yeah.
Seattle and then I drive up.
Oh,
It's
because you'd rather spend a little time with your friend.
I'll fly in a day early, spend some time with my baby person.
And you stay at their home?
I stay at their home the night before, and then I have a
Yeah.
hotel in Tacoma.
Yeah, because for me, that's uncomfortable to stay at someone's home.
Well, he's the only person who I'm comfortable staying at their home.
Good.
He's like
Good for
family.
you.
Everyone else, it's a great big nightmare for
Yeah.
sure.
Chris, could you crash at somebody's house comfortably?
I have before, but I haven't done it in a long time.
I haven't done it in years. And even when I was more acceptable when you're young and people were like, hey, just crash. It was like, I still hated it, but I felt like I had to be game. I just felt like I didn't want to be too much of like like I don't want to sleep on your couch or your floor.
No, I don't want to do that.
And you're,
I don't want to sleep in the other bedroom.
But now at this juncture of my life, there's not a circumstance that could have me sleep on someone's couch.
Right.
That's just a friend. Nope. I
One
couldn't do
time
it.
I was staying at a comedian's house, Shane Moss, and this is my drinking days, obviously, and his too. And I slept on his couch, and then I heard rustling, so I knew he was up. So I took my underwear off and got into like a downward dog position, like a bottom anal sex position. And I thought that'd be hilarious. He'd come out and just see my exposed bumhole, and that's when I realized he had another roommate who I was not aware of.
Oh my God.
So this guy, some guy just came out of his apartment, and then he wasn't awake when we got there. So it was just a stranger naked with his bum in the air. And
did you try to explain? I thought this would be funny.
Yeah, well, I turned around and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm friends with Shane. Sorry." Also, you're out of
Sex
toilet
friends.
paper. Yeah.
I'm sex friends with Shane.
And he said, I can see that.
I'll go to the store and pick some up right now. And my friend Jason Cantor, who's a wonderful comedian, has another funny story that's one of my favorites, where he was drunk and staying at someone's house, and he couldn't find a blanket because they were too drunk. So he just went into the dry what do you call it, the dryer, and then took out a bunch of clothes and used it as a blanket. And then he woke up to his friend's roommate just peeling his clean clothes off of a stranger. And he's like, sorry, man. And he's like, who are you?
You got panel if you need it now for the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, I had my asshole up into the wind.
I can show you what it looks like. So yeah, anyways, my days of staying at people's houses are over.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Done.
At this juncture, you have to, if you're in the same, like for example, if you're visiting a city, your good friend lives in said city.
Yeah.
And they offer, I always go like, no, we'll get a hotel.
Right.
Thanks. And we'll see you.
But people
we'll see
will
you.
offer to stay at your place, which drives me crazy. Like, hey,
yeah,
I'm going to be in New York and I'd like to stay with you a couple days. I'm like, you're insane.
People
It's
do
not
it
happening.
all the time
Yeah.
to me, and I have a 1-bedroom apartment, and I'm like, hey, we're pretty old for all that. You want to
Yeah.
sleep on my couch? And they're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
What?
same. And I have a wife.
They'll
Yeah.
say to me, do you have room? I go, lots, but I don't have anyone in it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm also at the point where I don't mind losing a friend. Doesn't matter to me. You know, why would I care about friends? I have listeners.
Sometimes it just feels like you can use losing a few. You know what I mean?
Oh, shake them off.
Like sometimes you start to think about it, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is one I probably should have took care of years ago.
Guess what? A lot of times I don't want to sit around talking about 10th grade again. You know what I mean? Like, enough. We've discussed it. We went to Wildwood.
Yeah, for sure. It happens, especially as people as cool as us in the
Yeah.
business of show.
Yeah.
When you talk to these assholes, they want to relive a track meet in 1998. And I'm like, that was like, I don't even remember that. He's like, remember that bus trip to Cohasset? It was unbelievable. And I was like, it was okay. I was like, I've been on a private jet. I mean, what are you kidding? Get out of here.
I've been in a private jet with very rich people. I
Yeah.
don't know why I would bring up that track meet again. What is it, Chris?
I just want to let everyone know Joe List is in studio.
Okay.
And that the Stand Up Season 2, which Joe is part of, premieres today on Netflix. And Joe will be on The Tonight Show Friday on NBC.
Now, you're on this 30-minute thing with a bunch of other comics. Did y'all shoot the same time, or?
We shot 3 at a time. 3 of them shot Sunday, 2 shows, and then I shot with 2 others on Monday. I shot with Kyle Kinane and Gina Yashere, who I think I'm saying her name right.
I believe you are.
Yes. Because it's one of those things where half the people say it
Right.
Yashir, and half the people say Yashere, and I know one is right, and I think I'm getting it right. Yashere. But anyways, I shot with Kyle and Gina. They were great. Rachel and Brent Morin, Rachel Feinstein, my dear friend.
Love her.
Brent. And Aparna all shot the night before. And everyone was
Nice,
great.
yeah.
It was really great. So watch them. Binge them.
Binge watch them, watch
Yeah.
them. I got up first thing this morning, but I only watched Joe, and I don't have all the time in the world. I can't sit around and binge. I'd be late for the show today.
Yeah, you don't really need to watch the others, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what I was talking about a moment ago. I mean,
Well, I definitely plan on watching Rachel because she's coming in soon, right?
Yes.
Is she booked here?
Yes.
Well, you're looking like you just
Yes, she is. Yes, she
seem
is.
like a total lie.
She is.
That you're trying to back me up.
no, see, I studied this because I was a loss prevention detective at Sears. And then there's a theory that when you look right, up and right, which Chris did, that's your right brain is like your whatever your filing
creative.
cabinet.
Yeah. Okay.
Left
so there's a
is
memory.
creative.
Right.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So
which
you
way
think
did he look?
He looked right, which means he's trying to think of some knowledge that he has somewhere in his head.
Okay, so he wasn't.
But
So
what if
that's
he
a
just
non-lie.
doesn't? But here's the thing: he was trying to find the knowledge, didn't find it, and still just said, "Yeah, I think that's true."
But he might have
Is that a
scanned
lie?
left. Did you scan left? I didn't see a left scan.
I was straight right.
But that's a mistake in this business. All you had to do was say, "Yes, Ron, she is," and then we move on in life.
Yeah.
Instead, you're wondering. You've made a problem when one doesn't exist.
Man,
I don't think people would cancel us if we did not get Rachel the way I promised. You know what I mean?
Understood.
So you could just like, "Yep, I got it, boss," and everyone was like, "Man, that show is together." You know.
Yes.
A lie always beats the truth. Remember that, folks.
I just thought of something. I don't think I ever look right for a thought. Like I just did it, and it actually hurt my eyes.
We need to test
But like
this.
I look left.
All right, let's play with it a little bit. So,
Okay.
and I
Also, granted, I might forget real things that I do know.
But you'll look right for that.
Okay.
You'll have to search
Okay.
for that to the right.
So I'm
all
gonna push it
ready?
out of my head because I'm gonna do it consciously.
This is exciting.
So every answer has to be yes, though. To we're
Yeah.
going to catch a line. So you've seen a suitcase.
Yes.
Okay. And
I just stayed straight because I didn't
Yeah.
know what to do.
and then but you went up after that. You
Did
thought
I?
that you did.
Oh,
So
really?
after you said yes, you went up, and you have seen a multicolored elephant.
Yes.
She did it.
Did I go
So
left?
you went around. You went around busting people.
Yes, it's Sears. And then if they looked left, I just nailed them. I just hit them.
Yeah.
I said, what are you looking at?
I think, first of all, I think anyone who steals from Sears needs it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what's
There are
funny?
luxury items there.
You know what's funny is my politics and ethics and mindset changed through the year because I was a kid and I was like, we're getting shopping, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, yeah, you piece of shit. And it was exciting. Looking back, I'm like, these are like heroin addicts and then like people that have been fired and like Sears is a big corporation and
right.
Looking back, I would have been like, yeah, get out of here, dude.
Get outta here.
Fucking do the best you can.
Go ahead, take that home with you. Whatever you need.
But it is, yeah.
Good luck with those work gloves.
It is fun, and it's set, and it makes the prices higher if people are stealing or something. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
doesn't
what-
matter. We got plenty of money. The rest of us have plenty of money to pay Sears.
That being said, I think Sears is out of business now. So
because the really bad job of stopping the shoplifting.
First they took Roebuck, now Sears.
Yeah, Roebuck is gone. Now Sears. Have you ever shoplifted before?
Yeah, from baseball cards. We went to this place called All Stars in my hometown. We stole everything. It was
Yeah.
fun, but we kind of knew the guy. He was kind of a penis, and so we just hated him. So we would steal all the stuff, and it was like a fun activity.
Yeah.
And then I stole bowling shoes one time.
Did you wear them around town?
No, I brought them home. My dad was appalled, and then he returned them. But I always thought they probably thought my dad stole the bowling shoes because he's like, my son took these, and they're like, all right, pal.
All you got to do is walk in and put them there. You don't even have to tell anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Returning the shoes.
they're
Like, what lane?
They're already set up. So you could just put those shoes there. There was a kind of a new wave thing of wearing bowling shoes for maybe 15 minutes.
They're really cute.
Yeah, they are, but
I've always liked them.
Yeah, but do you really want everybody to know your shoe size?
Also, I like the no traction thing. Like, don't even try to
Yes.
wear them in the rain. You're
Yeah,
screwed.
you're going down.
I just worked with Matt Wayne. Do you guys know Matt Wayne? No, you should have him in sometime. He's really funny. And
Chris, can we get Matt Wayne in?
Yes. Yeah.
See?
And he just
instead of going with the bet.
He just quit his day job, and so he's
Yeah.
got free time, and he's wonderful. But he has a
Great.
funny bit about bowling. Is weird because every other sport you do recreationally, there's professionals. So if you're playing basketball, you're like Jordan.
Yeah.
But bowling, nobody knows them. So when you're bowling, you have to be like Uncle Buck. It's a funny joke. Funny guy.
Can anyone mention a professional bowler?
I don't.
I can go for Dick Weber Jr.
Oh yeah.
And
Now
his
that
father,
you say
Dick
it,
Weber. Yeah.
now I know the Weber name. Now you've said it, but other than that, there's not one other.
No.
I also think bowling is interesting because they're like, this is as high as you can possibly go. So you can tie the greatest person of all
yeah.
time and just be a regular person who plays, every place has somebody who's bowled 300, local guy, right?
Right.
That's as well as you can do.
Yeah, I guess you can't achieve any more than that.
Now, did you guys watch HQ the other night?
No.
I didn't.
So
catch it.
HQ is doing a thing on Sunday nights, so you don't stop at 12.
Oh, right.
You keep going till there's a winner. We made it up to, I think, 28 questions. Now, 1.7 million people were playing the game when it started. When it was down to even a couple of people, there was still over 500,000 people watching this. I see the news today. Cheaters, bots.
No.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cheat bots?
It's cheat bots they're using.
Sounds like Russians to me.
Yeah, it does seem like a Russian thing, but the president said it could be Russians. It could be some fat guy in his fucking basement. No one knows. No one knows. Russians are good people. But I don't. That's something they're going to have to be able to defeat.
Yeah.
Weird though, right? And they've got something where, 1.5 million people are playing, and then 500,000 people are willing to keep watching.
I know.
Like it was a sport.
A lot of times I will watch, unless I get. Sometimes I'll just be too much of a red ass if I got something wrong that I'm really bad at, and
Man,
then I
just
turn
go,
it off.
yeah.
I'm like, fuck this game. And I'm like, I do want to see the rest of the questions, and then I'll open it back up. But I almost always close it out of anger, like like a baby. Like I should have got that.
Well, this could be, this could be the future where people are just doing everything on the phone. You know
Yep.
what I mean? You won't do anything else but your phones. And then after that, they said within 2 years, they were going to have a chip that's going to go like our brain to our eyes so that you'll be able, when you're looking around, people will be able to watch what you're seeing
Oh, God.
wherever they are. Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. They're going to see a lot of anal sex.
Well, they're not going to see what you're getting. I thought you were a bottom. You're on the top.
Well, I mean, I'm not picky here.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they're seeing our thoughts. I don't know if my joke made sense. They're seeing.
No,
I
they're
have to
gonna
be
see
watching.
what you look
I'm just
at.
thinking about anal sex.
I was just like,
having
you
a lot
much.
of anal sex.
You're like, wow, cool, Joe. You don't have to brag.
That's what happens when you drift away for a moment.
I have.
You just come back. Oh, I was thinking about anal sex.
I have zero anal sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to put.
Chris, you have a lot, right? You say you prefer it.
I mean, yeah, to a vagina, sure.
He said with his girlfriend, he told me this the other day. He said it doesn't matter whether it's anal, oral, or vaginal. It tastes exactly the same with her.
Oh my God. You said that about your girlfriend?
Why is that, though?
I don't know. You're looking right now.
Yes, you are.
Like,
yes, you are.
does it?
She's Hispanglish, right?
Yes, she's Costa Rican and American.
Oh, fun.
American.
She's a CA. Costa Rican American. What part of her is American? The anal?
No, there's no anal. She's Pittsburgh.
I don't understand. Her mom is Pittsburgh. Like,
mom is American.
are you saying her mom is Caucasian? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, she's
So
a
you're
white
calling Caucasian American?
Yes.
And then you said that specific of that nationality, Pittsburgh.
Which is normally Polish.
Yeah, so it'd be Polish. Yeah.
You don't know
Is she
that, 'cause
Polish
you're
or
just going
not?
wrong.
That's
She's
left.
not Polish. No,
That was a real left look.
Oh boy.
You don't know what she is.
she's Italian.
So she's not Costa Rican at all.
No, she is Costa Rican.
Well, you're
She's half Costa
changing your
Rican.
story so
Dude,
fucking much.
By the way, I
Chris.
thought you said she was white on the other side. I mean,
Yeah, that's
nobody,
right.
nobody calls Italian white.
No, the Italians aren't whites.
No.
Every-
No.
Everybody
Please.
knows
I
that.
wasn't saying it in disgust, Joe.
Sorry.
If you're Italian, somebody go, no, you belong in the other line.
Yeah. Because you're without papers.
No, and Costa Rican, is that native thing or is that from another place as well?
As far as I know, native, like born.
But isn't there a Hispanic that moved into it? There's European blood.
Like a conquistador?
Yes, like a conquistador.
I know, like Costa Rican, like Honduras, and those. Oh, they're all. There's a lot of mixing of all of them.
They're all the same. I know what you're saying.
No, they're not.
I think all non-Americans are pretty much the same.
I agree.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
I don't see any difference between somebody from El Salvador and Hasidic Jew. It's the same.
It's all.
It's
Like,
non-American.
They're all visitors, folks. Oh God! You looked over my shoulder. I got nervous.
No, I just looked up because
It's a bit. It's a bit. Everybody, I'm kidding.
17 times over during the show, there's Trump news that pops up, and now there's a new ex-Playboy model who had an affair with him who is suing.
I heard. I saw some people were. It was talking about it on Twitter yesterday that the other model was saying that she has a dick pic. That she's.
Why
I
would
don't
she take a picture of his penis?
I don't know, but
Has a
there's a
comb over.
possibility. Like now that people, it's not even like that people want to. Like, will we see it? Like, will this be a thing that gets leaked at some
Would you
point?
want to see it? Would you want to see the president's chode? That's the big question.
Does he want me to see it? Because if he wants me to, I don't feel comfortable.
That
about
would be
it.
funny
If he tweeted
it.
himself.
Look, I don't give a fuck. She's not going to break this news. I will.
Dude,
I
that
can
would
see
be
him doing
great.
that.
Yeah.
That would be great, actually.
Believe me, there's no problem.
It's very good.
I'd like to see his penis. Seems like fun.
His balls as well, or just his penis?
I like to see the balls because I think something's wrong with my balls, and the more balls I can see, the better, the more aware.
What's your concern?
Paddle.
Well, my balls are very lengthy and very red. I talk about this a lot in a lot of places. Bright red.
Yeah.
Like
an
Putin
infection.
red. They're just bright red, and they're long as the day.
Yeah.
You know? It's just very lengthy.
It sounds like you're not eating enough asparagus, if I had to guess.
Is that real? I've
Yes.
eaten zero asparagus.
Yes. If you eat The more asparagus you eat, it will bring some paleness to your scrotum.
Okay, I got to do that. And I also have a thing. I don't know how to pronounce it because I've only read it online. It's called, I think, varicosely or
Yes.
It's when you have varicose veins in your testicles.
Yeah.
And literally, this is another. We're really getting down and dirty here. Similar to the position I was in at Shane Moss's house, I showed my wife. I was like, I think there's something wrong, and she's like, it looks like a bag of worms. And then you can pull this up. You can Google this. If you Google varicosely, it says looks similar to a bag of worms. That's like the medical thing. You can find on like WebMD. It says bag of worms. So my wife is a doctor.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But I got a big old bag of worms in my balls. And she calls them, how are your worms? My wife will say, how's your worms?
She actually caught a good one, didn't she? She really married up.
It's a catch.
And I'm 35. I mean, when I'm 60.
Yeah, what's going to happen? Yeah.
It's going to be like...
Bag of snakes, I
yeah.
think.
It's going to be a worm farm down there.
Yeah. What is it, Chris?
Joe List is in studio. He's performing at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan, April 5th through the 7th. Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington, April 26th and 27th. And Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida, May 3rd through the 6th. Go to comedianjoelist.com for tickets. And they'll be on The Tonight Show this Friday on NBC.
Now, I was down at the stand and I was bringing Joe up last week, and I told the audience he's going to be doing the Tonight Show this week, and you're going to see that set ahead of time. You saw it, Joe. No one cared. I don't know how we've gotten into a time and place where people don't find that as exciting.
No, it's very strange. I think people don't watch TV and or something. But yeah, I had it last night at Pink's. I was at the bar show, and there's like 10 people there at a bar. And like, this guy's giving me the Tonight Show Friday. They don't give a shit.
It's hard to believe.
It's fascinating.
It's the fucking Tonight Show.
Really
yes.
insane.
Yeah.
Jack Parr, Steve Allen.
Yes.
The other guy.
Well, no, wait, you're right. There
Johnny
was
Carson
only,
was the
it
other
started with Steve Allen.
Steve Allen, yeah.
Then Jack Parr, then Carson, then Leno, and then Jimmy. All these years, 5 dudes have done that.
And Conan was there for a while.
Oh, Conan
It
was
went
there for
Jay,
a cup
Conan,
of coffee.
Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really embarrassing. It's almost like what happened with Eli when they pulled him.
And put in Geno Smith.
Remember when we had to pick whether you wanted Jay or Conan? Like, people would be Conan people or Jay people. I know
Team Coco.
Chris, Vito was way Team Coco.
Yes.
Because he collects everything from Conan. Did you have and I know Norton was straight Leno, because Leno used to bring him on the show. So he was like, and I would listen to him on O&A, and he would be giving all the reasons why Jay was the better host. Chris, did you care one way or another?
I just thought it was just strange that Jay was trying to fight back to get it from Conan, but I thought I wasn't watching either way.
You thought Jay was in the wrong, though.
Yeah, I thought, well, you gave up the show. It's Conan's now. You stepped down, Jay.
I think Conan was the one who should have fought harder. When they tried to push Conan back to 12 o'clock, I would have stayed. I would have stayed, dropped bricks on the guy at 11:30. Every night. Like, do you believe that shit that we just saw, everybody? It was terrible.
That was terrible. I mean, that was terrible, folks.
Get a good look at that guy's chin. It's enormous.
Freak.
I don't know. How about you, Gail?
I was Team Coco at the time. Yeah.
I was straight Letterman.
Yeah.
I'm a letter
yeah.
man. 100%.
I love both of them. I love all of those guys. I love Leno as a guy. His Comedians in Cars is my favorite. We have a lot in common. Neither one of us have ever worn sunglasses. We both have Scottish in us, and neither one of us had ever had a cup of coffee.
Wait a minute.
And we have the same initials, and we're comedians and from Massachusetts.
You've never put on sunglasses in your life?
I've put on sunglasses, but I don't wear them. And he explained it exactly the same way I feel. He's like, the whole time I'm just lifting them going, what does this actually look like?
Right.
And
that might be that you, like, the sun bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, the sun bothers me, but bothers me more is to have everything all shady and weird. Yeah. And I always feel pretentious. I feel like I don't deserve sunglasses. I feel like I look like a goof.
You deserve them.
Maybe I do. Maybe I deserve sunglasses.
You know why you feel like
you're hard on yourself?
Because you never do heroin. I think if you did a little heroin, you'd feel better in your sunglasses.
Do you have any heroin nearby? Chris just got up like he was going to get heroin.
What is it?
Oh, we need to actually break one more time for the end of the show.
Why?
I don't break, sorry.
Yeah. If we break, we're going to lose Joe List. And this is the week of Joe.
It is the week of Joe. He'll be on The Tonight Show this Friday on NBC. And then Stand Up Season 2 premieres today on Netflix. And he's performing all over the country. Go to comedianjoelist.com for tickets.
You know, I was going to tell Joe about this, but Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there.
So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property.
See and speak to visitors. Even set off an alarm right from your phone with Ring's Floodlight Cam. When things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere.
Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy.
Welcome back to Bennington. Joe List is in studio. The Stand Up Season 2 premieres today on Netflix. Joe's performing on The Tonight Show on Friday on NBC. And you can see Joe at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan, April 5th through the 7th. Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington, April 26th and 27th. And Side Splitters in Tampa, May 3rd through the 6th. Go to comedianjoelist.com for tickets and all his dates.
Come out and see Old Bag of Worms as he takes his comedy from town to town.
I will show you the worms. If you for a Chipotle gift card, I will show you what a bag of worms looks like.
That could be you when you get angry with people. You're like, you want to see the bag of worms? You're going to push me till you see the bag of worms?
Well, you know, the thing is, like, after the show, I know that I'm going to want to Google this thing, and now I feel like I'll essentially know what your balls look like.
Yeah,
it's true.
If you Google image bag of worm balls, I think it's varicosely, or I don't know how you spell it.
Then I'll know.
You'll
It'll
know.
be the same as me seeing your balls.
Yeah, very few people see the back of my balls.
Yes.
So the one roommate guy whose name I don't know, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And my wife.
And your surgeon, your doctor.
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
gonna see if he can do anything.
So it's
with
only
that.
on the back? You can't see it from the front?
It's mostly the back, and it's a relatively common thing. It can get sore if you're like dehydrated or you don't wear underwear. You got to really,
you got to
hold 'em
really
up there.
keep, almost in a jock at all times.
yeah.
Keep them lubed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
an
have
issue.
lotion here. by the
Powder
way, if
too.
you need to.
Powder might be a better way to go too. Just dip it in some powder like they were.
That's what the film is about. Powder. The
Yeah, good one
1988.
too. Classic. Yeah, I can't be hugged. All right, stop it, dude. You ever hear that story about Powder? The guy who directed it was a KT.
Yeah.
So if you know that, if you go back and know that a pederast made this film, it makes it a lot. There's a lot of scenes that are very queasy.
Yeah, like I kind of remember there's a scene like he's like washing his face in the sink, and it's a very sexualized, like kind of slow motion moment. And it did it came out just before the movie came out, I think, right? So it was like kind of like everyone's like, it was good, but I kept thinking about how he's a kid toucher the whole time.
I didn't know that he was. I didn't know that. Yeah. I never saw the film. I know it came out at the same time as Truman Show because Truman Show sold out, and a few of my classmates had to go see Powder, and we never stopped making fun of them. We were like, Powder, you fucking homos, or whatever. It was a different time.
It was
the 90s.
You actually even use the other F word in this special.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm getting called it, so I feel like I might be okay.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm a good person. And then I call, I make fun of cowboy hats in the same bit.
Yes.
So I feel like I tried to
it's equal.
save it.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I'm scared to death. I really am. Every minute of every day. It's a terrifying time to be alive.
You're always worried about the apple cart getting knocked over, but it doesn't happen. There's never been any comedian who's been forced away from his profession by something that he said or done.
Oh, wait.
Is that true?
No, it's just the opposite is true.
Yeah, Kathy
Disease
Griffin
with
was
it.
just on Real Time, and I thought she was great.
Well, this is the thing about Kathy Griffin. She's like, oh, I went and sold out, whatever, fucking Carnegie Hall. And I'm like, yes, you always would have. She has fans that aren't Trump fans.
Yeah.
Her fans are like gay dudes
Absolutely.
that love her. She never was in trouble of losing them.
The only thing she lost was that one gig, which is like, shake it off.
Oh, the TV show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that you'll lose. But your connection to the people who like you, it doesn't happen that way. She'd have to come out and probably say anti-gay things to lose those fans.
Exactly.
So I don't know how much of Kathy's was actually hype. That she played like a hype role.
She also didn't behead the president, which is helpful
That
for
is
her
true. It was
case.
a doll.
Yeah, that's a lot of kidding. But I think she was talking about how she got a lot of trouble flying and stuff, and put on no-fly list, and she got searched and all this.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the government. It was like became like she was a threat or something.
I would have mentioned to them that it wasn't actually the head of our president.
Yeah,
I would have just said, "Oh, I see where you could be confused."
But you didn't see there he is on TV right now. He has his head. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I always feel like that with things where you just I'm kidding. I'm joking. They're all jokes.
So I don't cut off heads. I joke about it.
I'm kidding all of the time.
Like, that is true because no one said to like Clint Eastwood, you actually killed someone in the movie.
Yeah. It's very bizarre.
We do live in a strange time and a strange I don't know whether it's going to go back the other way. Mark Norman said to me, he goes, do you think this thing will swing back? I go, no. And he's like, why would you say that? And I go, when does it ever swing back? You know what I mean?
Forward.
Once once you're moving in a direction, the society just goes in that direction.
Yeah.
Well, there's some blow, but there's a market for people that are being irreverent, though, more so than there used to be.
Yes.
Even more. But I don't know. Who knows?
You're bringing the danger back to comedy. It's not a dangerous art form if everybody feels the same way as the person talking.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would be like saying, if everyone's scrotum looked like a bag of worms, what's the whole point of bringing it up then?
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever noticed how scrotums look like a bag of worms? Yeah.
Of course we have. Idiots, get out of here.
You're going to be on the Tonight Show.
Yes.
You got your set down. You feel good about it.
I feel good about the set. Yeah, I feel good about it. It's been doing really well, and their jokes have been doing for a while.
They
and,
work with you on that set. Do they go, oh, this one won't fly?
A little bit. They've been good. I sent it to him, and they were like, he's like, this one's a little long. Can we take a couple lines out? And he said, add this, and that was pretty much it.
Well, I've always found you to be like TV friendly. When I saw your set not too long ago, I came to you and said, that's the Netflix set. And then a couple weeks later, you told me I got the Netflix. So you must have already been working it.
No,
I said it.
I wasn't. I think you started this whole thing. I credit this show with all of my success in life. No, there was no like working on it. I didn't submit a set or anything. They just
they called and said it's time.
They said, yeah, we're doing a half hour. Do you want to do it?
Wow.
But they'd seen me. But I think the Louis tour had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
They saw me there. I probably shouldn't say that too much. And then Michelle Wolf also, they asked like who would be good, and she I think said my name. I think only my name, which helped.
What are they're giving her a TV show of some like a talk show.
Yeah,
too,
she has a
right?
show coming out. I think it starts airing in May.
That last special she did was hilarious.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, she's a beast. Like she works harder than anybody. She's so funny. I just did Caroline's with her. It was amazing. And I watched Michelle. I mean, Michelle was at open mics a few years ago and just works her ass off, and it's so funny and fun and a good friend, and I love her.
Good for you. Good for her. Good for everybody right now. Everybody except for Vito. He's
Everyone's
in a
doing well.
really bad place.
We had a funny moment. Michelle and I did an environmental benefit. We gave money to the Nature Conservancy, and we did the show at the Village Underground, and we went on together. And the weekend before, we had done Caroline's. We kept farting into my phone and recording it because we thought it'd make a good Patreon podcast. And so then I started playing it on stage. We didn't prepare anything.
Yeah.
And then there's like a lot of women just looking at me being like, what? And I go, you realize half the people here are women that think you're the voice of this generation, and I'm playing them your farts through a phone. And there was 3 women up front, and they all just nodded, yes.
Yes,
yeah, that's exactly what's
how we
happening. Which I kind of love. I love when people, in all of time and entertainment, when people make somebody a thing, and Michelle is just a comic.
Yeah.
I mean, what she's doing is important and all that stuff, but she's a comic. She thinks it's funny to fart into a phone.
Right. And that kind of happened with Amy to such an extreme where people that didn't know her were like, Amy is my spirit, and they're just projecting this stuff till people were like, I wonder what Amy Schumer would do faced with this. You're like, that isn't what she set out to do at all.
Right. It's like that old Charles Barkley thing where I forget what the quote was, but he's like, I never asked to be a role model.
Right.
He's like, I play basketball.
Yeah. There was a thing with John Kruk, because I'm a Phillies fan, and people were coming to get something signed by him and all. And as the kids were coming up, he was, as he's a starter, smoking a cigarette and signing. And the mother kid goes, that's no way for an athlete. Working, it's like, athlete? I'm not an athlete, I'm a baseball player. It's like, literally, I can't do athletic things. I can just hit a baseball. I have to play first because I can't run anywhere.
That's great.
But that's that thing of, like, it never occurred to him to just be a guy who did anything other than hit baseballs.
Right.
You know?
Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. That's good advice.
All right, Joe List, this is your week, and congratulations to you, Mike.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm clapping also.
Yes, you should clap because there's not enough people here. Vito, you didn't clap, I noticed.
I'm sorry, I was answering a question.
What question?
Jen asked me a question, so I turned
During the Big Joe List show?
I know.
What was the question?
She was asking me what the opening song was today.
Oh, okay. Somebody wanted to know?
Yeah.
Gail, say.
By the way, I caught
the Walkman.
Yeah.
The rat.
I caught Vito in a moment of thought, and now I think that he could beat up Lewis. I look over there, and it was just real scary. He was just staring like, I'm like, oh, that guy's a psycho. His hair was coming down. I was like, Lewis stinks.
He's the Iceman. He's like that Italian that went around just killing people for fun. You're the Iceman.
Denzel Washington is the Iceman right now on Broadway.
Yeah.
Anyone have a hookup? I want to go on Saturday.
Well,
I've been thinking about going, but
StubHub, I could probably hook you up with.
I looked; it's like $500.
It's a very
it's
long
also
play
lengthy.
too.
It's a really lengthy play,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that's really stopping me. Is like, how long am I going to be in this seat?
The play is longer than Denzel's cock, folks.
Hey, he's cock.
Black dicks. Sorry, that's a weird way to end it.
Angels in America are coming too, and that's another long one.
Yes.
I like a nice short play. I like a sketch.
You like a one act?
Chris,
Yes.
let's take this home for Joe List. It's his week.
Joe List has been in studio. He's performing on the Tonight Show
Easy,
Friday
buddy. Don't flub.
on NBC. And
What's
he's
the hurry? Just say it nice.
Joe List will be on the Tonight Show this Friday on NBC, and he's part of the Stand Up Season 2, which premiered today on Netflix. And he's performing at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan, April 5th through the 7th, Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington, April 26th and 27th, and Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida, May 3rd through the 6th. Go to comedianjoelist.com for tickets and all his dates.
All right, that's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!